Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Apex Season 3 promotions. It is Super Week, and we are ready to promote one more team through to Apex Season 3. It will be our fourth of 6 that are going to be making it in now. Achilleos, I'm of course Atlas. Poor man. And after what was slightly anticlimactic end, I guess, that has promoted AOD to
the greatest ending. Best ending I've ever seen to any game.
A little bit of
the history of esports and sports as a whole.
Indeed. A little bit of clarification. Of course, we sort of missed the fact you don't necessarily need to fully cap that last point. So just having one person on there for like one tick was all that was needed, which is why sort of Flashlux may have missed it, and we may have been a little bit too harsh on them. But still...
I wouldn't go so far as to say that, actually, because Flashlux would be aware of the new competitive ruling and how to win these tiebreaker situations.
And, have someone on the point if you're defending
putting everybody in the garage instead of actually being on the point where the enemy just has to tag it.
Maybe they thought that it was like a payload map for a second. They're like looking for the payload. It's like, oh, maybe it's in the garage. That makes sense.
That may be.
The car there. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
They need to clear their heads after that one for sure, because now they're going to go down to the actual elimination matches, so we'll probably see them again later on today.
Yeah, up against either Freak of Freaks Red or, in fact, MVP Infinity, or the loser out of this next matchup, which is going to be Rhinos Gaming Wings against MVP Space, to see who's going to be able to lock down that next spot. And Rhinos have been looking very, very good. This is going to be a tough one for Space after even 3-0ing their sister team in what was a chaotic last best of 5 yesterday.
Yeah, you'd have to say that. I mean, Rhinos Gaming Wings, they come in, they were the #2 team in the Challenger tournament, just underneath of X6. They actually had a tied record with them, but their map score was a little bit worse, so they fall into second place, didn't have as many points. So this is going to be a really tough one for MVP Space, who lost 0-3 to Conbox, and then 3-0 their sister team, as you mentioned. Rhinos also played against Conbox. They were able to take a map off of them, and that actually netted Conbox their way back into Apex for Season 3. But Rhinos, they have been looking pretty competitive here in their games. You got to say, I mean, Oxo and Envy doing quite a bit of work here for the team. So expect to just keep your eyes on those two, especially as we get ready to come through. And, Umti's also having a pretty good run of it as well in the tank role. So we'll see how much of a breeze this is for Rhinos, or if MVP Space are going to give them a run for their money.
Yes, and the interesting thing here, because there's a slight change-up in the old roster, if our sources are correct.
There is. We'll wait till we get into the booth with those guys.
It is relevant because, I mean, Rhinos have been playing very, very well. I mean, they've got a very solid roster. It's very solid tactics there as well. I mean, as far as supports go, they're Lucio Ana almost every single time. They know exactly what they want to be doing each time. We'll see whether they are going to mix it up here, but it's unlikely given sort of the play rates of these guys. Oxo, of course, I mean, I'm hoping to see some of that Widowmaker. Did bust it out just for a little bit. Didn't get heaps and heaps.
Oh, there you go. All right, so it is confirmed. So I'm Sorry is going to be playing in the DPS position instead of Climax, who was the key player, you'd have to say, for MVP Space yesterday.
And it's a bit ironic, isn't it, given the name of I'm Sorry, because he is going to be taking over a player who was phenomenal, honestly, against MVP Infinity yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure what happened. Not sure what the decision-making behind this one. Maybe after beating their sister team, Climax too hard, and now he's in the hospital. So they have to bring in I'm Sorry.
Yep, and I'm sorry that had to be quoted.
For all of the Climax fans out there that were expecting to see him today, I'm sorry.
And now I'm really glad that he's not in this game, because I can't stop thinking about it inappropriately. But no, he actually was like 7-1 on his McCree, 10-1 as far as kills and deaths is concerned on his Tracer. Like, Climax was, I want to say, popping off, but it just sounds so bad.
He was just popping everybody left and right.
Damn right he was.
He was doing some good stuff, but not here today. We'll see if I'm Sorry can have a good performance and live up to it, but
yeah, a lot on his shoulders now, and it's going to be difficult, but we don't know too much about this guy, and we'll see whether he is going to be able to step into the shoes effectively against what is a very difficult opponent here in Rhinos Gaming Wings. I mean, you're looking like opposition to opposition. Rhinos Gaming Wings went 3-0 against MVP Infinity, as did MVP Space, but then managed to take a game off Conbox. MVP Space, unfortunately, were unable to do so. So very similar records, but with one extra coming out here for Rhinos, but they just looked better. Yeah. It didn't really matter about sort of the match wins at the end of the day. It was just how Rhinos were playing. It felt a whole lot more solid to what MVP Space have been able to bring to the table.
And we have to take everything from in the context of the Conbox victory here, because both of these teams
take
completely
everything
shattered.
in Conbox. Once again, we've got Li Jiangtao.
All right, well, just going to be starting off with this one. So flavor of the day, I suppose, instead of Oasis.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we just have to focus on Conbox because both of these teams took down Infinity with relative ease. So Rhinos having that upper hand, doing better against Conbox, looking competitive is what really sets them ahead in this matchup. It makes MVP Space the underdog.
Yeah, most certainly does feel a whole lot more relevant to have a look at that one. But Conbox have been playing extraordinarily well. I mean, this is a team that we were expecting to make their way back in, but they did so in pretty emphatic fashion. And now MVP Space have got a tough ask on their hands if they want to complete the MVP leapfrog. As, of course, started off Season 1, Season 2 was Infinity, and now want to get themselves back through, but it's going to be difficult, and they might get sent down to that loser's bracket.
Certainly is.
Actually, interesting.
It would got to be, oh, all right, looks like we had a misfire there on the map. So it actually will be Oasis, so I was sort of right, I guess. So we will see Oasis coming out here for these guys. We'll see which of the three we'll get to start things off with. If you're just joining us, haven't been watching the Super Week, first of all, where have you been? Second of all, this is a best of 3 on the King of the Hill maps. No best of 5s here. So we'll see every single round just once with University, Garden, and City Center. But early lead here for MVP would be very good for them.
Yeah, and they want to come out of the gate strong here as well, because MVP are not going to be feeling like this is going to be an easy series, and having that buffer game is so important in these best of 5s, irrespective of what is going to happen. And I guess they are coming off a 3-0 victory, so we'll see what they can do as we hop into our first game between Rhinos and MVP Space.
Get it.
And thank goodness we're not getting it with Climax in here.
Unfortunate. But all right, you hear some Rhinos Gaming Wings fans out in the audience. A couple more people showing up, still very early afternoon for a Thursday evening, 3:30 p.m. Lots of people still in school, at work.
Some people here playing hooky, I think.
Dedicated fans.
I like it.
Showing up for the Super Week.
But I like it. I mean, school is definitely a valuable thing to attend, and you certainly should not be not doing it. But maybe just have your phone out in the back of class, watching Apex. I mean, it's not too bad. So I'm sorry, he's actually going to start off here on the Genji.
Yeah, kicking things off here over onto University. So it's going to be the solo DPS coming through from Rhinos with Oxo over onto the McCree. Right, taking just a little bit of hits here, but MVP opting more in for the dive comp as Kuki comes forward on that Winston. I'm sorry, trying to poke it from the side, gets taken out. Yeah, a Gape actually sniping him out. Recently,
extra damage, feeling good.
Yeah, recently buffed up there on the Lucio, so getting the damage coming through. And Envy, with the help of Oxo, takes down Kuki midair, and that's going to be the first cap going over to Wings.
Yeah, Oxo traced him with like 4 bullets there as he flew across the screen. Nicely played by this McCree.
Look at Oxo's percentage. He's already at 72% for the Deadeye. Significantly further ahead of anybody, including Yaki, over on that Tracer, who's just sitting at a very meager 28%. So not having nearly as much success with that one, not able to lay down that fire to just build it up quickly.
And Oxo has been the shining light here for Rhinos Gaming Wings. I'm sorry, trying to reflect something, but not getting too much done. Nice grenade is going to keep him alive as Yaki getting 2 back. I'm sorry, does fall, but it's 3 now in favor of MVP Space. They're doing their best to get onto this point. Get a bit of extra percentage. There's the Pulse Bomb available as he's trying to chase down a Gabe.
Yeah, not worth using here when he's on the exit though, so Pulse Bomb just for the stagger wouldn't be worth it. This does give the first cap over to MVP Space, so actually really fast fire back for them. As only 27% was accrued for Rhinos. So they'll go ahead and match that very swiftly. Still have a couple ultimates to deal with as well as Wings still building up several of theirs. Just the Deadeye up for Oxo at the moment. No nano boost available to go with it to turn him into the Electric Cowboy either. So it'll be a very slow one. Yaki dashing forward, trying to get some hits in onto the
there's the Pulse Bomb actually. See whether he can get anything from this. No. Not able to find too much as, oh, Rhinos Gaming Wings getting torn apart here as I'm sorry. Making his debut pretty nicely. And this Genji dashing forward. MVP Space playing really, really well together.
Exploding back in here is I'm sorry. So going forward, already had that Dragon Blade ready to go, so they just pop that one out, get several kills, and they hold off Wings yet again. They'll take a very considerable lead on the point. Yaki almost having yet another pulse bomb up to 96%, so turning his luck around, performance around so far with this Tracer. Wings, they have some decent CC to come through. Sound barriers available, but Pulse Bomb does find a gate, and he goes down. Shadow tossed out. Yeah, they're going to get 3. The Deadeye does take out closer. Overall, pretty even exchange across the board. Flashbang comes through. They find I'm sorry, and that should be the opening here for Wings to push back onto the point. Laris all by himself will get taken out as Oxo cleans up the fight. They'll recap, but 86% for MVP Space from 0.
Definitely
nice hold by them.
And I mean, they do have the Primal Rage available. A lot of ultimates were used there, though. Closer still needs to charge up that sound barrier. Daily as well with that self-destruct. Still 80% away or more.
There's really good hold tactics available here for Wings. The Graviton Surge just now coming up for Fury. If he can get high energy, toss that Nano Boost in onto him as well. He's actually going to come out.
Hog available, and here it is. They are going to bust it out right now as the Primal Rage can't do anything. This Monkey's just getting thrown about as Envy's going to be able to take him down. And oh, that hook was so close.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that the flashbang there from Oxo on the backside is able to take him out, but MVP Space still trading back a little bit here. So far, 2 for 2. They get the recap as Wings hit 60%, so going to be in the 90 territory so far.
That's the nano boosted Diva, but
oh, Oxo, one more shot.
Yeah, dangerous.
Would have found it. They're going to push back in here, and it looks like overtime might be forced out by MVP. The Deadeye comes through. He's going to be looking for something, and as everybody scatters, he's getting hit from the backside. Goes low with the Biotic Grenade, taking him out.
Was very close to almost getting that kill, but unfortunate timing on that one, as I'm sorry, he's going to jump in. Dragon Blade comes out, but good sound barrier stops a lot of that damage. He's down so low, but no one's taking him just yet. Able to get himself to relative safety as Envy taking a fair bit of damage. Earthshatter comes through. There's the pin onto the Diva. The suit is going to be taken down. Umti able to get I'm sorry in the process. Umti falls, but is this going to be enough here as MVP Space answering back? It's actually the Goomba Stomp kill onto Mango, unfortunately.
They're just a split second from recapping this and stopping the overtime, but there's just nobody here at Gabe. Currently trying to buy as much as he can. He'll go down, and it was in overtime for so long, so it just plummets. And MVP Space will actually go ahead and pick up the first round here on University.
And that went from, I'm sorry, unfortunately Climax isn't here and we're going to lose, to, I'm sorry, this is now my turn to take the victory here for MVP Space. The Genji play working out quite effectively. Didn't need to get nano boosted. That Dragon Blade was doing a whole lot of work.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
It's a good start. MVP Space just needing the next round here to go ahead and close out the first map. And like I said, getting that early lead would be so substantial for them, if not just to close out the series, to give them a bit more hope should they fall down into that lower bracket. So starting things off very nicely for them. We'll see how they fare on the potential remaining 2 rounds. See as they come out, swinging here. I'm sorry, going to be swapping over to that Pharah.
Yeah, of course, almost necessary with the pharmacy on this particular map as well. So a lot of aerial battles. Oh my goodness, a large amount of hits.
Envy goes low. He's going to have to bounce himself back.
Yeah, Laris is going to fall. Nice kill there from Oxo, but a lot of damage done already from Envy.
Pharahs are trading pretty evenly here. You can see right now the meter is going to be built up very much the same.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, he knows exactly where he's going. He sees that health pack, and all he needs to do is just land the explosion right on top of it. He does just that, takes him out. That's going to be a nice start here for Wings. Need to hold the point considerably longer than they did on University, though.
Thankfully for Space, lots of open air to get themselves into this point. So Rhinos Gaming Wings going to have a difficult time trying to stave them off, but at least know exactly where they're coming from. I'm sorry. Up on the top there, he's going to take the Pharah.
You know, this is actually perfectly mirrored compositions coming through as well, so it's all going to be down to mechanical skill and prowess. I'm sorry, takes that one shot, but Envy can't follow up with the kill before the arrival comes through from Laris. They do find closer, getting rid of that Lucio, very crucial.
Yep, Diva down there as well, as it is going to be the...
Oh, one more.
Tracer battle 1. Oh, he's so close. Yeah, there it is. I'm sorry, he's going to be able to grab that kill, almost actually killing himself in the process here as the res is available. There it goes, as Laris is able to bring up his teammates.
pops him back up, but he dies immediately, and Daly was losing the mech simultaneously, so honestly, not the best use of the resurrection coming through from MVP space. They do have an ultimate advantage at the moment.
And Amte's Primal Rage not actually finding as much as he wants to here. I'm sorry, he is going to fall down, so Rhinos Gaming Wings getting something back. Still on this point.
65%, this is already going much better than we saw in University. Fury just trying to stick on top of Laris, burns him down low. He makes it behind the wall just in time to stay alive, at least for a little bit longer.
Has the self-destruct here as well, which could be very important. In fact, Rhinos Gaming Wings, 4 ultimates available here. This hold could be very real coming up to the next one because they're at 80% already. Probably only need another one team fight and they can cap this point out.
I mean, honestly, if we see Daly lose his mech, which is already down to half HP, that's going to open up for a massive barrage potentially here from Envy. Would have nobody to body block. So far, self-destruct comes out, finds Oxo actually. Not having that recall available. Laris goes down, but a Gape does as well, so both the Mercies are falling, and Wings, who's multiple members, Envy trying to win out this duel, but there we go, jumping into his face as Kuki melees him. On the drop, they take him out, and Space will finally get a cap at 99%.
Yeah, going to be able to get themselves in there. So despite the fact that Rhinos had a whole lot available to them, they didn't use a whole lot, but were still able to be switched up on here by MVP Space.
Yeah, they still have tools to try to come back into this one, but Space getting the upper hand for the moment with this take. Almost have the resurrection ready to go from Laris. So if Wings just dumps everything into killing multiple members of Space, it could be completely nullified by that res coming through from the Mercy.
Dingo Zonti is actually going to jump right on top here as Laris gets himself out of the way. Double kill with the self-destruct is huge.
Completely just annihilates the pharmacy comp. Now the barrage comes down. Kuki can't get to cover in time. 4 members go down on the side of MVP.
And in goes Yaki, throws down the pulse bomb, is able to take down Mango there as well. Umpty takes out Daly and MVP Space in trouble. Yaki was doing what he could, but he is going to fall, and that's going to be Fury grabbing that kill for himself. Nice take.
And that's just going to be a nice tie-up here coming through as Rhinos go ahead. They get city center. Yaki just trying to wait around the corner. He was waiting to get multiple blink charges up. Only had one when that overtime started, but he gets hounded down and taken out. So really good chase coming through here.
Yeah, good hunt comes through from Fury just to stop anything from happening here, and MVP Space were answered. So we'll see what Rhinos are going to be able to do with our next point. This MVP Space did look fantastic in the first one, not necessarily what we were expecting, so could have a little bit more of a challenge on our hands than we were expecting, Achilleos.
Certainly does look that way. So Space putting up a much stronger fight than we expected.
Yeah.
And now you can see, yet again, Pharmacy Comp coming through. Spacer moving away from this one. I'm sorry, is back over onto that Genji. Yaki still sitting with the Tracer. But nice flank coming through from the Pharah. Still just maintaining that high ground. Has the boost coming through from a Gape, keeping him powered up as he just rains down these rockets time and time again. And the first 2 picks coming out is Laris. And I'm sorry, go down Kuki low. A couple more hits would do it. There we go. Envy finds him midair.
And unfortunately, I'm sorry, just died for free. It was 6v5 at the very beginning as Oxo just playing cleanup. Fury just going to commit suicide off the side just to try and get that reset. And they do so. So Rhinos holding nicely.
Really good start for them, and they're going to go ahead and maintain this high ground. You see Envy and Gabe just sitting in the corner up top. Not really a corner, but
yeah, just hanging out.
Hanging out.
Give it on the sidelines. So I'm sorry, may actually be picked one more time. Gets healed back up, but doesn't want to go toe-to-toe with a big angry monkey. Envy staying high and just throwing down these shots. He's unanswered here up to the top.
Well, that's Primal Rage popped over from him. See, jumping in, they find Kuki. They do lose Mango on the side of Wings, but still firing back in. Oxo has that pulse bomb ready to go. Doesn't want to use it just to pop the mech, looking for a larger bang.
Yeah, might want to try and get closer here as well. Who does have the ultimate available, will have to use it if that pulse bomb does come down on top of him. But MVP Space have actually answered very, very nicely off to the side. Huge kills. This Rhinos Gaming Wings just melt.
Yeah, and Oxo played that really greedily. Did not use the recall when he went low. Was looking to get healed back up, but too many people on the side of Wings went down. So actually would have been able to stick around, delay the take from MVP Space a little bit longer, had he not been so greedy holding on to that recall. But still has the pulse bomb. They have a barrage and that res ready to go.
a lot of options here for Rhinos Gaming Wings to find their way in, but
the Nano Blade is almost available.
Have it as there's the Pulse Bomb. It doesn't actually get anything. The answering sound barrier is enough to stop it, as Daly now just playing defense on this point. Envy once again, but he's actually going to get shot out of the sky. I'm sorry, actually, just smashing through him. That's going to be the res, but the Dragon Blade comes out. A Gape's going to fall already in MVP space, utilizing their abilities beautifully here, and I'm sorry gets himself well and truly to safety.
Yeah, they only find one kill exchange in that entire thing, and it's just Laris going down to Envy, who could not use the barrage at any point in time. That's the only ultimate they still have available. The sound barrier is not too far off, but there's 3 on the side of MVP space, including the Primal Rage and the Self-Destruct to buy them some zone control. So already surpassing the percentage here of Titans, or of Wings. It's looking rather good for MVP space after a pretty washy start.
Yeah, Yaki now actually just looking for that flanking play as Mango going relatively low, and look at this, he's able to dance around nicely, but does get taken down extraordinarily low. Envy just shot out of the sky in MVP space. Where have you been over the last couple of days?
You see, they just have to reset immediately. They know this, so Fury just goes ahead, executes himself, and now it's 80%. They just need to get regrouped. They have about one final push to try to do this.
Thankfully for Oxo, doesn't fall down, goes to 10 HP, and that actually could have spelt the end. They didn't have 6 for this next push in. Sound barrier is there for Rhinos Gaming Wings, but otherwise nothing else. Primal Rage just comes up. We'll see whether this is going to help them out. There's the Pulse Bomb. Nano Boost has come out here as well. MVP space looking to do what they can. Oxo does get the Pulse Bomb on it. I'm sorry, it's a lot of DPS missing now as nice zoning ultimate comes out from the D.Va.
We're in the overtime, and Wings, they've already lost 4 members. It's just Envy and Fury left alive, and they're not on the point. It's just going to tick down.
That's going to be it. MVP space coming out swinging in game 1.
Wow, yeah, completely surprising start here. Wings struggling quite a bit on Oasis. And we'll move forward into Hybrid to see how they fare as far as that is concerned, but really good showing from MVP. Only looking a bit lost on City Center in that mirror matchup, the double pharmacy comp coming through, where Rhinos did have the upper hand, but they still closed it out in the end.
Yeah, and MVP space just looking a whole lot more controlled in their play as well. They had the plans, they had the ideas, and Rhinos were just throwing themselves at them in that last round. I mean, that is not how you're supposed to play this one out. They had their ultimates sort of worked out. They could have coordinated this. They could have actually made a decision and stuck to it, but instead it was sort of filing through and all just getting picked off. MVP space making it look pretty easy that last time around. And Rhinos, they have time to reset. It's a best of 5, so there are a lot of games to play. It's a worrying start.
Certainly is. Sticking with a Pharah, you know, maybe a bit ill-advised. Trying to opt into that one on Garden where you have to hover low to the ground. Obviously, I'm sorry, very easily pursuing forward with the dash, just taking out the Pharah, just swiping him right out of the sky. So, a bit slow on that swap out. Punishes them pretty heavily. And now Rhinos just have to look forward to the second map. Kings Row, Nimbani, and Eichenwald in the pool, and it's going to be Kings Row yet again. And I can't say I am very surprised.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, Envy hasn't been playing all that much Pharah, to be honest. He was a designated Pharah player against Infinity, but not actually against Comeback Spirit. It was Oxo that was picking that one up there, so bit of a change. Didn't do too bad, but yeah, Kings Row going to be the next option. So no Pharah is really necessary, and we'll see whether this is going to be the change-up. See whether Oxo can go off once again on the Widowmaker. Has had some pretty decent headshots that we've seen thus far.
I think netting those from
sparingly though.
Netting those for himself would be good here to open up on the map if they start here on Assault, but definitely they just had to clear their heads. I mean, they were able to pick up one map. It wasn't a complete shutout there on Oasis, so still opportunities to bounce their way back in, and that all starts here with Kings Row.
Well, see whether it's going to be Space bringing us up to a second one, or whether it is going to be Rhinos asserting what dominance we were expecting.
See if they get it. Let's go ahead and jump on to our second map. It's Kings Row coming up.
Good to know. Now we'll see exactly what MVP Space are going to be running as far as their defensive composition. Looks like Daly might be opting in for the Sombra, which would be exciting. But probably not.
I'm sure we'll see this swapped up. Sombra on defense. Be a bit bold. Maybe if Twilight was in the game, we'd see that one come out. And
Well,
Fury
is all the way out here, man.
Okay. Yeah, he has charged up, so looks like they might opt in for this one. It's going to get stealth and sprint forward. Throws that translocator up top.
No, he doesn't.
But he failed at it. Well, your ruse is ruined. Now they know that you're here.
It was most certainly cunning, Achilles.
Yeah, he's just going to go ahead and sprint back and swap now. He ruined it all.
He did.
All right, well, he's got 23 seconds to jump back. We'll see what he wants to opt in for. Likely going to see a second tank, and there we go.
Yeah, the Daly going to come out. Well, that makes more sense.
Yeah, just going to be running the 2-2-2 here is space, but we can see right now Wings, Oxo, having that Hanzo just likely going to be scouting. We've seen a couple people stick, not in this tournament, but a couple people stick with the Hanzo at least for one push. I don't think that's going to be the case. Throws out that arrow. It's not going to spot much, and he'll just go ahead and swap back in for the McCree.
Yeah, I like Oxo's McCree as well, so I like this switch up.
Sorry, looking for an assassination if he can find one. Does jump in, finds the Ana, gets flashbanged immediately, now goes low, and Oxo takes him out, so gets punished for that cheeky positioning.
They answer immediately, though. Envy's going to fall down, so it's a big meat shield now unavailable. As close as going to answer. They're just trading kills across the board. Feels good for the attacking side, though. I mean, there is a lot less space to run.
I mean, it does and it doesn't. I mean, you know, trading kills, unless it's on the tanks or both of the healers, it just means that Wings still won't be able to push in, likely for a very big contest. They do have that faster run back.
But Onti's creating a lot of disruption here, just punching people in the face. It's going to be Fury that takes down I'm Sorry. Daly knocked out of the mech there as well, so you're talking about tanks. They are getting missing. Wow, flashbang kill. Also takes down Daly.
And they actually, MVP Space, just all back off as a team. They just concede this over immediately. I think they could have put up much more of a significant fight there, but just got to surrender this one over, and it's over 5 minutes that Wings has to push this to point B.
Yeah, this is huge. And look at Envy playing so far back. You know when a Trace is playing so far back that things are going wrong, Kilios?
I think they conceded that a little bit too easily. But it's a decision that was made, and now they're going to have to deal with it. We'll see how far forward they want to play to try to stop this push coming in. Right now, they're still playing back around the second corner.
Envy's still dancing around this one, just waiting for those dash charges.
Kills I'm Sorry. That's a really good start. Now Yaki's going to have to be the one getting the nano boost. And can't get anything done with it. Deadeye coming in around the corner.
No, not an opportunity there. Good shield. Barrier comes down. Umpty's keeping everyone there. It's good sleep. And he's going to get flashbanged as well. Primal Rage is going to keep him alive, though.
But still, this is not the use of Primal Rage that you want. You can see he still has to exit and still gets taken out. It's more of a desperation move. So the ultimate's coming through from MVP Space, just not working out, not being used in a very intelligent fashion. And just, you know, knee-jerk reactions that they just toss out. They try to keep each other alive, and it's just not working.
And it's once again looking like an autopilot payload. It hasn't been stopped nearly at all inside of MVP Space. It's going to be the most incredible hold towards the end if they want to stop this from getting capped.
It'll be very
impressive. For a little bit of zoning.
Yeah,
Here goes the sound barrier. Rhinos Gaming Wings really want to make it to this next point as another self-destruct comes through. You're actually able to take down I'm Sorry, and I'm Sorry's just dying over and over again. He can't be doing this. Deadeye not going to find anyone. He was able to take out Kuki before, and he gets rid of Daly.
Oh, beautiful flick. Oxo taking out Yaki, just tossing a flashbang right at his feet. Looking for closer. There we go. Finds it right off the end, and it's another 5 minutes on the clock.
This is the Oxo that we're expecting. I mean, we didn't see him necessarily in our first match, but my gosh. Now just making things look too easy on the McCree.
Oh, still limited ultimates here. The Nano Blade is available for MVP. Nothing really to set it up, though.
We shouldn't call it a streets phase anymore. That should have been a highway phase, man. That payload was moving super fast. There's the Dragon Blade actually going to be popped immediately. Nano Blade coming out for I'm Sorry, and he's going to be immediately wiped out. I'm Sorry was able to at least take down Oxo. Not quite happening here as Envy flying through. Heals back up with that recall. Nicely done. Barrier's there from Omti just to help people out, but Envy going to get locked down. Closer grabs that kill.
Yeah, getting hit with that bionic grenade really cost him his life at the end, having already used the recall. So he does go down, so it's a hold coming through for MVP, but they had to spend every ultimate that they had. Wings going to be coming back in. You see NB actually swapping as that Roadhog comes back through for himself.
And the Wings have just so much time to play with here. They do want to get as much of a time bank as possible, but this is a holdable map. This could be a big deal if they can get this one through, but still, fair bit of time. And at least stabilization here for space.
Maybe looking for it. Oxo building up towards another Deadeye. They can couple that in with the nano boost if they so choose. NP fishing for a hook, won't find anything. It's not yet. Self-destruct tossed out. They try to make it to safety.
Yeah, good zone to come out as, yeah, Mango is, Gabe, sorry, taken down there by I'm sorry. Mango answering with Laris falling there as Kuki, he's been taken down as well. Oxo still hitting those shots very nicely, but pinned against the wall. This is dangerous.
Yeah, it's the party corner coming in over here, but Oxo, he's really controlling it right now. Looking for Yaki. One more hit would do it. There we go. Burned out by Fury. Swaps over onto that Zarya. Earth Shatter does come down.
It's all a bit of a desperation one here out of Kuki, just trying to stave them off as the Wings still only one missing. They're pushing this payload ever closer, but nice respawns coming out from MVP space.
I mean, this could very quickly be 6 ultimates available for Wings. See full energy here for Fury. The Graviton Surge is available. Just going to be looking for an opportunity.
Deadeye's going to be there as well. That could be huge if they can get rid of this Reinhardt.
Having him take the guaranteed knockdown off the Earth Shatter would also be quite good, but they might not even need it. Oxo pushing forward, looking for somebody. Quite get Laris. They do knock down here onto Kuki. He goes low. They take out I'm sorry and Daly in the meantime. Kuki grab back in here by the Roadhog. Will get taken out off the charge, but Yaki has that whole hog pop, pushing them away from the payload.
But it's still such a man advantage here for Rhinos Gaming Wings. They are pushing this payload through. Yaki's going to make it there. They've got a couple of tanks here on the point, as the respawns are going to be there with at least enough time. There is so little distance to take this. Now Envy trying to throw what he can through. Closer is able to take down Umpty. This could be a big deal as the Wings immediately back away.
I mean, really good shot back here from space, but Wings, they get the payload so close, down to a minute and a half. And like you already mentioned earlier on, it's this is a map where holding. This is the most difficult task to accomplish. So we could very well just see a hold come through from Wings if they can't connect this payload to the final point. Now, Deadeye available for Oxo yet again, the nano boost.
This guy
up here
charges
for Mango.
like no one else, man.
All those headshots.
Good
He's going to get
sleep
stunned
onto
though.
Oxo.
No kill pressure coming through onto him, but still buys a lot of time. Earth Shatter coming down, catches multiple members inside the hallway, but there's no follow-up as Umpty goes down.
Yeah, he's going to be traded there. The Roadhog falls as well. Fury trying to charge that ultimate. Oxo, you are so tired, my friend. I know you've been doing a bunch of work, but that was a long sleep.
Get a couple naps there, but 1 minute left, so MVP Space have bought themselves a considerable amount of time here to burn down that bank. But can they close it out is going to be the question. It's about one final push you'd have to say here for Wings as the Deadeye does get popped. The shield is up from Kuki. Oxo getting that heal deny coming through, gets booted away, goes low, but the heals finally start coming out. He fires off, trying to get Daly, just juking back into the corner, but he does eventually fall.
Yeah, the Wings finding something here. There's the nano boost. Big Graviton Surge, but fantastic sleep. He's going to lock him down. The Wings with a monstrous Earth Shatter. That was out of control. I'm sorry now, trying to dance around with this Demon Blade. He's got the nano boost there as well, but it's not going to be enough. It's a Gabe that's able to grab the kill. Good hook as the sleep comes down at the same time. Daly pinned against the wall, and that mech is going to get destroyed, and himself too. It's a decent push through. They need to try and make it onto this point, but it's going to be the overtime, and MVP Space just keep clawing their way back through.
Earth Shatter doesn't find anything, gets completely blocked off, and Kuki does go down, but Umte's just swinging his way to victory. There we go, takes out takes out the Winston, and they finally get that final just inch-long push into the third point, but no time in the bank here for Rhinos.
Yeah,
now going to be looking to hold.
And this is the really interesting thing, because they managed to take that first point so quickly. They had so much time. It was the highway phase. They just pushed it all the way up forward. So MVP Space, I mean, I know it's a consolation prize, but still holding out to that overtime is a big deal. We'll see whether they are going to be able to push that one through, get themselves into that tiebreak situation.
I mean, this is a pretty tough ask. I mean, I am impressed how long MVP Space was able to stave that one off. I mean, 5 minutes just about on the clock there for Rhinos to shove through. It's quite a good defense coming through, but unfortunately it does falter in the end. But now they have to push it all the way to the end, hopefully with some time in the bank. So this is going to be a very tough ask of MVP Space. Wings coming out on the defensive side, looking like it's just going to be that triple tank, single DPS coming through with Oxo on the Soldier.
Yep, Space actually opting for the attack Zenyatta as well. I do like it. A little more of these slow-moving compositions. We'll see whether Daly decides to stick with the Pharah.
I think no.
Could be an interesting opportunity.
That would be rather intriguing to go with the single tank.
I like
Not
all of
these
words that we use, you know, interesting, intriguing,
yeah.
unique, when really what we mean is not a
bad
great idea. Yeah.
Not great.
So that's it's a bit of a spoiler for you guys at home.
I mean,
we say things like that, generally we mean it ain't good.
We have seen triple DPS from time to time, but it's just, it's really not popular. It's very difficult to pull off and just too much of a risk, especially here if you're MVP Space. I mean, granted, you are up a map, but trying to run this off the bat would still just be a bit too risky, you have to say. So Yaki looking for the scout coming in, I'm sorry, yet again, coming through on this Genji.
Thank God Daly has switched out, so no Pharah to be had here, as I'm sorry, still on the Genji. And look, if he survives for the first 30 seconds, I'll be pretty happy, as Oxo already takes down Yaki. It looks like he's going to be the one falling early.
Looking for Sorry, doesn't fire off those Helix rockets, but does go low and
knocked
gets
out of the
down.
hill.
Yeah, boop coming through from Daly, just too much damage offered up by that Diva. They do find the answering kill, but Closer goes down. They will trade one onto Mango, so healers being eliminated from both sides.
I'm sorry, actually offering a lot of damage here as well. He does fall in the end. Has softened up the members here of the Wings.
Just a concentrate of blows, though. Wings will be able to recuperate, get themselves back in onto this point to hold this. Space is going for that 1-for-1. Can't get a solid push in. They're going to finally move in, try to get those ticks coming in. And Yaki gets the assassination onto a gate. That's a great way to start things off. Empty goes
Look
low.
at how far they've been pushed back. The Wings completely out of this point now. Yaki just trying to hold them off. We've got only one more tick to go, and that should actually be MVP Space trying to make it on, but no, not actually going to work. Mango is going to be taken down by Yaki as the Wings now is going to be the time where they fall back, and most of them are going to die. Nice pulse bomb there is going to get rid of Fury.
Yeah, so really good coming through here. And that was MVP, you know, just actually destroying Wings, shoving them off the point, whereas when we saw MVP play the
I think I've seen
defense,
this
they
before,
kind of peeled back.
Achilles. I believe it may have happened in our last match that we saw just moments ago. So nice work by MVP Space. They've got a lot of time to work with themselves.
Another 5-minute push. Try to get themselves onto point B.
Working for that time bank.
Yeah, Wings, though, they want to push forward. They want to play up in front of this first turn. Hook comes through to get a bit of damage in onto that.
Oh, good sleep. Zenby immediately woken up. It takes a lot of damage. Has to go take a drink, get his health back.
And look how far forward Space is pushing, just shoving completely out in front of the payload.
Pin.
3 kills coming through already. Wings really struggling on the defense. They wanted to play it forward, but they get heavily punished.
Yeah, it's Gabe just trying to offer what damage he can, but the barriers are there. Everything's available here from MVP Space.
That was a little wanting there, Yaki.
Well, he was overly excited. You know, things were going great on the offense. May as well push your luck if you can afford to.
Well, they certainly can right now. 4 minutes on the clock, and you know, about to be 5 ultimates. See, it's gonna be Kuki popping his, goes low, makes it out with his life at least for the moment. Earthshatter coming down, just catch both of them, and the Graviton Surge comes out. Transcendence does get popped, keeping him alive at least for the moment. Now they're gonna try to trade on back. OT goes down.
Immediately taken out though, and Oxo with that tactical visor, nano boosted as well. Able to take down so many. This could be the answer now for the Rhinos. Throws down the heel, sets up shop, and is looking to tear everyone up.
Yeah, gets Yaki. Trying to chase down Laris. They will find him in the end. They kill him, so a nice stagger will come through on that respawn. Still 3 minutes on the clock, and the payload made it very far forward, so not as early of a defense as you would have liked for Wings.
Yeah, certainly has hit a bit of a snag here, though, and I mean, this sort of pushback didn't happen the last time when MVP Space were defending.
This disrupts the momentum, and it costs MVP quite a few ultimates in that back and forth exchange. So now going to be at a bit of a disadvantage as Yaki's the only one with that ultimate. Needs to line up a godlike pulse bomb to find an opening for his team.
Yeah, the Wings relatively soft though, standing on top of this payload and aren't able to push it back too much further. MVP, get it moving one more time. I'm sorry, poking it from the side. Yaki doing the same thing. As the shield is going to be removed here. Earthshredder comes down, nice double stun. Comes out from Omte as he tries to get the pin, but no! Dang, Street Lamp's in the way.
Won't be able to find it, but he does take out with the flame strike.
This is an angry monkey!
He is nano boosted here onto Kuki. Doesn't have the primal rage, but still just going to be zapping away with the Tesla gun as much as he possibly can. There we go, primal rage now up. Will leap in, just smacking back Wings as best as he can to try to get the payload moving. Finds Fury, pins him into the wall, and takes him out. See how much more he can get done. Finishes off Entity with the help of I'm Sorry, but not before they lose Laris. Struck coming down, not going to find much. But still, MVP Space holding strong on top of the payload.
Yeah, exactly right. Omte's going to be taken down. That is a big frontline member now removed. Rhinos Gaming Wings are actually going to be forced to back away. Big punch to the back of the head, but good shield. Keeps Ana alive for a little bit longer, but maybe they didn't want that, honestly, because it does create a bit of a stagger here for the Wings.
Yeah, that's the payload getting completed on the push. So 3 minutes that Wings have to hold them off. Otherwise, they get forced into that overtime potentially. Might have that tiebreaker coming through the best of one.
Yeah, and remember that it was in overtime. They don't have the time bank that these guys have. As there's the Graviton Surge. Envy with the double kill. Beautiful combo. There's now Umpty's going to answer the Wings doing work now.
Yeah, they just sweep right through him. Almost get the team kill. Trying to kill Kuki on the exit, but he does make it out with his life. But they burn right through him. A couple ultimates will still be available here for Space, including that Dragon Blade. And Laris isn't too far off from the nano boost.
Yeah, Earthshatter comes up from Umpty as well.
Sound barrier is there for closer. So MVP still do have a lot to work with to complete this push. They have several more attempts before that clock will run out. But Wings, they can hold like that a couple more times. May just be able to close this one out. So you're going to be fishing for a nice multi-man Earthshatter if you can find it. Yaki poking in from the sidelines. Pulse Bomb ready to go. If you can assassinate a healer or two, that'd be very crucial for the opening. The Dragon Blade goes in deep. He finds Mango, but the Biotic Grenade keeps him alive. But I'm Sorry, still swiping away. Comes up with one. Taken down before he can get a second. But Wings still suffering massive losses.
Yeah, still definitely worth it. I mean, that was a 3-for-1 at the beginning there. And now the cleanup as MVP Space tear them up. This payload looking to try and make its way all the way through. Umte's alive. Respawn run ain't far, but they're going to have to hold as best they possibly can. Rhinos Gaming Wings are going to have a tough ask if they're going to win this one.
See though, Kuki ready to go, has that Primal Rage. We'll go ahead and pop it. Just going to try to shut them off the payload, but Yaki will be the first one to fall in this extended fight. Fury going forward, trying to burn through.
Was unfortunate onto Yaki. Deadeye's going to be able to grab Daily off to the side, and the self-destruct is there. Rhinos Gaming Wings grabbing themselves a little bit more. Good dash back, stops the boop off the edge there from I'm Sorry.
Yeah, still goes low, might just die, and he does in the end. Gabe taking him out. Again, buffs to that Lucio auto attack is
yeah, damn right.
Coming in nicely and getting multiple assassinations here.
If we're going to see a character every single time, it's cool to know that he now has a little bit more kill potential. Mixes it up. 3 ultimates now, though, on the defense here for Rhinos Gaming Wings. This payload's moving ever further away. And remember, Space need to cap this. Otherwise, it's all over, and it's now tied up.
They essentially have one more push on this as it's down to 40 seconds, but they already lose 2 members. I'm Sorry, and Kuki going down. They do find a gate, but that's going to be the Graviton Surge coming out, and Closer gets taken out. The assassination, self-assassination here from Yaki and Daly.
Are they looking for one final push? I mean, they've got 20 seconds to go, and they were suicides coming out from MVP Space. They're trying to make it back.
They're going to need Kuki to delay as much as possible on this Winston. Yaki getting ready to dash his way in as well. But 10 seconds, the rest of the members try to play catch-up to get themselves to this payload. There's 3 ultimates on the board here, 4 Wings, nearly 5 as Oxo and Mango are climbing up their meters.
Yeah, 4 seconds to go, but they have at least made it on there. Big Earthshatter comes out as Umte's going to say, no you don't. There's the ultimate as well as Deadeye comes in. This could be massive. It's going to be 1 as I'm Sorry falls down. I saw a lot of skulls there. I was pretty excited, but it doesn't matter. Just pops Kuki there as well with a headshot towards the end. Flicks that one out, and the Wings are going to take our second set.
Tying it up 1-1, so Oasis to MVP, and now Kings Row over to Rhinos. A very nice hold at that point C. So it was 5 minutes on the clock for MVP to deal with, or several minutes on the clock for them to try to get that final push, but unable to do so. Really good defensive tactics coming through from Rhinos. Wonderful use of the ultimates, and MVP is kind of dumping them when they had them. The cohesion wasn't there. They can't get the push. They get damn close. But they just can't clutch it out.
And I mean, still MVP showing signs of life, but this is what we're expecting more from our first game, to be honest. Rhinos Gaming Wings really looking powerful, getting themselves in there. So we'll see whether MVP Space can bounce back once again, but that hybrid map really made the Rhinos look like the team we were expecting moving into this series.
Gonna delay that match point until we get through the third here. When we come back from a break, we'll see who can take the lead and be one win away from Apex, whether it's Rhinos Gaming Wings or MVP Space. I think if we can tell anything from these first two maps, that this series could go the distance. We might just have 5 maps on our hands.
Yeah, and it's exciting to see MVP Space trying to make their way back into Apex Season 3. We'll see whether they can do it as Rhinos Gaming Wings looking to try and stop them. We'll be back after a very short break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Apex Season 3 Promotion Tournament. It is Super Week, and it is tied up between MVP Space and Rhinos Gaming Wings. Not necessarily what we're expecting. MVP Space coming out real hot in our first game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, getting that win on Oasis, but then falling short there on Kings Row. Now going to be moving over to the 2-point capture. We'll see who can take the lead there. I mean, if MVP Space can play 2-point capture like they play King of the Hill, I think that they will have some relative success, but it's going to come down to whatever they decide on. Volskaya and Temple of Anubis being the two maps in the pool here for today. So no Hanamura, which every team has, for the most part, been favoring throughout the duration of the tournament thus far.
Which has been an interesting one, honestly. Hanamura is an odd map. Not my personal favorite, to be honest.
That's surprising. Well, then again, you said Volskaya was your favorite 2-point capture, so...
Yeah, that's not in pool either. So.
You masochist. Well, we'll see if...
And a sadist as well for the rest of my team.
We'll see if MVP's right there with you, as it will be their map choice. We'll see what they decide on as we get ready to go into Game 3. Winner of this one will take the lead in the series and be at match point to earn their spot into Apex Season 3. Rhinos. That's going to be Anubis here. All right, so we will change it up from the first series, the Temple of Anubis. But Rhinos, you know, they had Titan, their sister team, in Apex Season 1, going to be looking to make their way for the first time into Apex Season 3 in Space. Being a part of one, looking to make their way back, and we'll see.
Yeah, we might have Space back or a Rhino back. One of them, we'll see. It will certainly be a revisit from Season 1 regardless. But, of course, Rhinos Gaming Wings looking a little bit better than their sister team did in the past.
Oh, they certainly did. I mean, Titan did not fare too well in the Challenger scene. Fell pretty considerably down the standings, where before you would think that they would have been a bit of a favorite to at least go top 4. Fell short. Wings takes their place, and now are just a couple games away from finding their spot in Apex Season 3.
Yeah, and Temple of Anubis is going to be the option, so let's hop in as Rhinos look to try and bring it to set point. We'll see whether it's going to be Space.
I get it.
All right, so fans still coming out. Paltry crowd here again.
Yeah.
And the afternoon.
See all of the people avoiding school. They certainly shouldn't be. But it's going to be the Wings. Oxo going to jump on the fire this time around by the looks of things.
Yaki,
defense
please.
happening.
Don't play with my emotions like this. I want to see the Orisa so badly.
I know.
Like, the odds of going through this entire Super Week without having somebody play Orisa just seems unlikely. I mean, I've heard from other pros that she's just not very favored right now.
I think she will find her way into a meta, but just no one's really discovered it yet.
She needs some tune-ups. I mean, this is really the first big tournament, I guess.
Yeah, and you don't want to be
like
mixing.
LAN tournament that is going to have Orisa available. There's plenty of online ones at the moment. But, you know, for LAN, seems like she just hasn't found that nice little niche spot yet.
It's also that theory of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? And a lot of these players have put many, many hours into their tanks of choice, you know? And Reinhardt, massive staple, everything else, you know, so...
Well, maybe it's Orisa is broke, so do fix it.
Well, maybe. Or she is broke, so play it, you know?
Could be
the other option, is Oxo just playing a bit sneaky here up towards the top.
Yeah, they haven't seen him yet. Don't know that the Pharah is in the game. He's running solo DPS with this, so going to be a bit risky dropping in. Going to be looking for that execution on Delaris. Won't find it and actually goes low. One more hit.
Oh, wow, the heal comes in.
Beautifully popped up, does keep him alive, but...
Mango MVP right there.
Still, though, losing that very advantageous position, not able to get too much damage in, not able to find that pick. And MVP Space are going to make their way onto the right-hand side of the map, push in onto the high ground, where the Sphera can't really access them. So this is going to be an interesting retake here from Wings as they do get peeled back away from the point a bit.
Yeah, Amte is just offering some disruption up towards the top as I'm sorry, just being frustrating over here to the side. Mango needs to be careful, getting chased down by a big angry monkey with that Tesla rifle.
He's going to go low. Still gets popped up by a grenade. Just help take him up to full. Dashing back in, looking to build up onto that Dragon Blade. Trying to find a gate, but can't quite get it. Now sitting right on top of Mango, able to take him out with the dash. And this is going to be a nice opening for MVP Space. 4 kills immediately coming through for them. Just chasing the rest off the point. This could just be a take here.
And the Wings probably actually looking for a reset after this as well, as Fury's going to be taken down pretty immediately. This point is going to be taken. Wings should be able to reset nicely, get themselves sorted out.
I mean, it's 6.5 minutes that they have to hold this now. Ultimate's going to be coming up here for MVP Space. They could very well snowball this in. Self-destruct. That sound barrier, Primal Rage, Dragon Blade. The only thing that they lost out on was the nano boost there from Laris, and he can generate that very quickly. So with 6 minutes to deal with, you have to expect that MVP should be able to close this one out.
Yeah, there are the triple ults actually available now for Space.
Got the
big hook!
The
Comeback happens, but Umte is still quite low. Throws down the Primal Rage just to keep himself alive as I'm sorry, dances in there. He's got so much damage. That Dragon Blade does wear off, but a gate falls in the meantime. Bionic Grenade's actually going to take down Envy as well, so MVP Space, great start. Whole Hog gets everyone off the point, but he is going to be taken down.
The Pulse Bomb takes him out, but still the kicks are coming through from MVP Space. I'm sorry, going to go low, have to dash back out of here. Popped up by Mango before he falls. He's actually going to be swapping over, so moving off of the Ana. Going to be looking for, okay, never mind, swaps back to the Ana, so maybe just a bit of a misclick as that self-destruct comes down. Fury finds 2, takes out Laris, and I'm sorry. That should put a stop relatively to this push. Couldn't get that first tick, and looks like it might just elude them a bit longer here.
Fury was the hero that the Rhinos needed for that particular point. Nicely done. This will give Envy an opportunity to build up some of that meter. It's a dangerous sort of switch onto the Genji, when that could have all been over. No Dragon Blade opportunity there at all as Mango up towards the high ground, throwing down these shots. Now, what does Space do? Which avenue do they decide to pick up? It's going to be this left-hand side. Piling into this choke point as the Wings set themselves up in position. They know exactly what's going on as Oxo flanking from the side.
Moving through the catacombs here, looking for that flank. The area's already been used here from Umte. Won't have that if we see the self-destruct coming in from Daly. They're just trying to poke in, get some time here on the point. We'll be able to build up towards that meter for a little bit here. Dashing in goes Oxo, has to snap back, get himself out to safety. And already, Umte goes low. Trying to get healed back up. One more hits would take him out, but the heals are finally coming through. Now has the Primal Rage. Envy dashing in, trying to finish them off, but can't find anything with the Dragon Blade. Gets taken out by Yaki immediately.
Yeah, big jump-ins though, as Cookie's doing some work here for Space. Oh, Mango's going to fall down as I'm sorry, collects him. And MVP Space may have an opportunity now, but no, I'm sorry, he's going to fall. Envy picks that one up off the respawn. Umpty now with the sound barrier is going to at least help them try and hold on, but the Wings just not looking like the team that we saw before. Another self-destruct, actually going to get a game, which is not what they want. Daly's mech's going to be destroyed, but he's done a whole lot here for his team. Oh my god! Huge destruction here as Space just tearing up the Wings.
Oh, leaping in. Empty immediately gets hooked from below. And now the second tick has been picked up here for MVP Space.
No
They're just going to be able to complete it. 3 minutes, 25 seconds. MVP Space, a very swift cap. And Rhinos probably going to be sweating a little bit after that one.
Yeah, and where was this MVP Space? Or what has happened to the Rhinos? I'm not entirely sure what is actually happening here, because it's just not what was to be expected from this round. MVP Space looking really, really good, and what was an abysmal first outing that we saw from this team since turned around with the 3-0 against Infinity, even though it was pretty messy. Now this time looks like they're playing some pretty solid Overwatch.
They really are. It's really well handled by them. And I mean, a lot of trading back and forth, specifically between the Genjis, you know, Envy and I'm sorry, constantly going down. But it was the other picks coming through for MVP Space, getting rid of the healers, consistently taking down a Gape and Mango that really just gives them those openings. See at the moment on defense now, MVP Space. Laris starting things off with a Sombra. Does he want to stick with it? It's going to be the question. Looks like he is going to go for this one. He's to start things off, maybe for at least the first life.
You know, and he made it all the way to the front and then just went back home. So look, not willing to count the chickens, as they say. But Laris possibly playing with it. We'll see whether they are going to make this two-tank sort of 1.5 support composition work.
I feel like saying before they hatch is very relevant to that sense. Why else would you want to count your chickens if you have them? What's the...
Well, it's implied. That's the thing. It's sort of one of those. It's sort of like
I'm a very literal person.
Yeah, you know that it's a saying. Might need to be Googled here, Achilleos, considering your line of work. But does look like Laris is keen.
All right, he's gonna go ahead and wrap around, try to see where they're coming in from. Trying to push forward, gets the hack off, snaps back. So just getting rid of the 1 health back. There is the one on the right-hand side here for Wings on the push that they can utilize.
Envy gonna look for his way forward. Sticks to the Genji now like he did towards the end of our last turn as Zaras getting around for the flank. Mango grabs himself the health back nicely as the snapback does come in from the Sombra.
He's already gone down. I'm sorry, goes down as well as Fury comes up with the 2K. There's Nyaki getting DPS down. Oxo dashing forward, looking for that Tracer battle.
Yeah, the
Can't
Wings
find
back
the
with
hits
a
quite
vengeance
yet.
right now as Umti's taking them down as well. Massive damage. Mango actually gets a bionic grenade kill onto Daly. And this point did not last very long at all as Laris just getting some hacks in off to the side.
He's just pushing forward but goes down.
Okay, just looking for that easy reset. He's going to be able to make his way back towards that point on his own.
And here we go, another very fast cap on point A as Wings have 7 minutes to work with and multiple ultimates along the way. Could just see a double snowball coming through here on Temple of Anubis. Oxo forced into the recall, dashing back in, trying to duel out here with Yaki. You can see so many members of Space pushed away from the point.
Still
This opens up
desperately
for
going
Wings.
for that charge though, as Oxo is so low a gate. He's going to come back up now. The Space now finally getting some kills. EMP's ready here for Laris. We'll see whether he's going to be able to make that one work towards the back end. Daly takes out Envy. That's going to again stop that push.
That's a really good delay. They're coming in here for MVP. Looked a little bit scattered, but they're able to go ahead and gather themselves. Hold on to the point, make sure that no ticks come through here for Wings. EMP is ready from Laris. I expect that the only reason he's still on this Sombra is to try to get the EMP off.
Yeah.
And then maybe see a swap coming through, but I mean, you never know. We thought the same from Twilight. He ended up sticking with it and made it work, so he's going to try to do the same thing, but there's 5 ultimates here from Wings.
Well, Laris is spotted out, unfortunately, as he can actually get himself back. There's the EMP! Nicely done now as Envy looking to try and get aggressive. They did manage to get the Nanoblade out before that EMP was even there, which is a huge deal now for the Wings, but they have lost a gate, and they haven't been able to find anything from this.
I mean, they're chasing so hard in onto Yaki, trying to get him when instead they could have just popped Daly's back, put him in the Baby Diva, stagger him, try to go for a push perhaps, but instead they pay all their attention to the Tracer that still had a recall available, and Wings just don't get anything for it. And all of those ultimates are going to be gone.
Yeah, well, thankfully, Rhinos Gaming Wings at least find their way around towards this flank. Yaki gonna hang in from the side. There's the Pulse Bomb, just takes out Mango, and again, now the Wings have to get out.
Yeah, beautifully snuck in there by Yaki, coming up with a very crucial kill, delaying that Nano Boost from being charged up. Oxo is finally able to kill Laris. Almost goes down himself, but does make it out here on the exit, but MVP Space going to have complete control right now as far as ultimates are concerned. Another EMP stacked up, and Laris, yeah, he's in this one for the long haul. He's just going to be sticking in with the Sombra.
Yeah, as well as that self-destruct, which is so important on defense here as well for MVP Space.
Oh, I mean, you couple those two together, the barrier from the Winston just not going to matter. Let's get rid of everything.
And I'm sorry, actually charging this Dragon Blade one more time. Now the Wings looking to try and push forward. They at least make it onto the point. The hack comes out. Fury not going to be able to do too much as the E is going to be able to at least get Laris to relative safety. Looking for another EMP, but he's going down so low. Is going to be taken out there as Fury grabs the kill, but I'm sorry. Has already taken out Mango. A lot of the support now gone as Agape has to try and carry his team through with this lower range Lucio. Yaki chasing everyone away.
I mean, Wings are just getting swatted like flies right now. One at a time, just getting picked off by MVP Space. And you can see, even on these pushes, sure, they're building up a bit of an ult economy, but it's going to be matched by Space. Currently sitting on 4. Another EMP there for Laris. He's ready to go. So MVP Space is in such an advantageous position, and now Oxo under pressure, trying to decide what he wants to go for. Sitting on the McCree, but actually will swap yet again over to the Pharah.
It's an interesting one. We'll have a lot of extra damage, and of course with that Nano Boost available, the Pharah will be doing a lot of AoE, but a Nano Blade probably going to be more important. They do have the Sound Barrier as well, so these 3 ultimates together could get a good push on, but Envy just hasn't had the luck picking up the kills with this Dragon Blade. They are going to use it one more time. This is going to be the opportunity. Sorry, he was slept, but immediately wakes up. As here's the Genji battle, but it's not how you want to use this Nano Blade at all. I'm sorry, eventually does fall, but look at this space. Just have so much room to work with outside of that one fight. Envy takes down the mech, but look at Laris. He's going off a gate falls. Envy's taken down by Yaki. And Space just head back to the point and say, this is feeling all too easy.
And Yaki throws in the hello right before killing him. That's for the maximum BM. But MVP Space, really strong hold. Already have drained the time bank down here. 4 wings below 3 minutes. So even if this does get closed out, Space are going to have such a massive upper hand.
And in they go. See Laris off to the side here.
I'm sorry, is dead. Nice little opening pick here, getting rid of one of the key DPS on the side of MVP Space, but they need more than that. If Wings are going to take the point. Axe coming through, EMP's ready to go. Laris still holding on to it.
Yeah, Ante in there with the ultimate as well. There's the EMP!
Yeah, drops it down, and that's going to be the barrage coming through, but they're able to take him out, only losing Kuki in the exchange.
I'm sorry actually with the crit there to stop that big rocket barrage. Now Envy's dancing around. There's the sound barrier, the Dragon Blade coming in as well. It's now, well, okay, Closer just going to run away from this one. Looks like he's going to be safe for now as well.
I mean, really keep Boop, but they trade the sound barrier for the Dragon Blade, so that's going to be a pretty decent win here from Wings, but they can't capitalize, unfortunately.
And Mango taken out, so that's half of the support. Actually, both supports dead now for Rhinos Gaming Wings, and this could be the cleanup here from MVP Space. Now 150 on the clock. Already this time bank looking beautiful for Space.
I mean, we might just have a situation like we did in Game 1 between Mighty and Flashlucks, where all that needs to happen is Space just needs to tag the point uncontested.
Yeah, exactly right.
So this is certainly looking poor for Wings.
They do have a res and a self-destruct, so creating all of that space and then maybe building the fight that they want, but Mango's going to have trouble staying alive here, as he has for almost this entire game. Just picked off, and it seems like, I'm sorry, like, his aerial lockdown is fantastic, killing Farah's, killing Mercy's, really doing work. There's another EMP to start this one off. The Wings in trouble now as there's a hack Diva. I'm sorry, already taking down Envy. Oxo's dead from Yaki, actually.
Yeah, and Laris does not go down.
It's a decent res, gets everyone back up one more time, but I'm sorry, immediately removes a gate one more time. Taking down the mech. Look at this, it's a triple kill with that Dragon Blade. That's what they were looking for. Laris takes down Envy and MVP Space. Looking like they should be able to hold this one.
It seems like there's just no hope here right now for Wings to close this one out. Just have the self-destruct, which they can use the zone back, but the odds of even getting a single tick in that time is just so very unlikely. Space almost having another EMP. Primal Rage getting ready to come up here for Kuki. They have a sound barrier to buy, even more time.
Primal Rage relatively close there as well, but having that sound barrier is going to be so important.
Yeah, they are just primed.
The combos are just not going to work out here, as once again, off through the catacombs.
Laris dashing in, looking to get in the middle of everybody, drops the EMP, will get knocked down from the sleep dart. Can't take him out, and the gate already falls.
He did what he wanted to, though, as I'm sorry. Wow, that sound barrier timing was fantastic. Another self-destruct, but it's not enough, and MVP Space just going to hold it.
All right. The third map over to MVP, now at match point as they get the win on Anubis. Comes down to Payload, where Rhinos Gaming Wings are going to have to fire back. They need to win this, force us to a fifth and final map if they want to auto-qualify into Apex Season 3. Otherwise, they'll be falling down to that lower bracket where they have to play even more games today.
Yeah, exactly right.
Rather be done with it.
The lower bracket is going to be finished off tomorrow as well, but you just don't want to get down there. There are so many things can happen. It's another double elimination, so you can even lose again when you get towards the lower bracket and make your way out, but it's just so many games to play. These teams want to be focusing on preparing for Apex.
Yeah, I mean, you're going from a sprint into a marathon.
Exactly. So
you'd rather just be done with the sprint, do the 100-meter dash, but Rhinos, seems like they're just a little bit too sluggish. MVP Space sprinting out in front of them.
Exactly right, and then Rhinos did feel like they could have been that fourth best team almost outright during our first couple of days, but you can see on the faces of the players, This is not the performance that they were looking for today against MVP Space, who have all of the momentum and honestly just look so much more hungry for this victory. Of course, looking at Infinity, it's not going to be them from the MVP organization that's looking like the favorite moving into Apex Season 3. So if Space, they know that all the pressure is on them. May have got a massive pep talk last night or something like that.
I mean, it seems to be working out, and this is really surprising because I didn't know how MVP was going to do here
Is it
with
gonna be
I'm Sorry
Jibby?
starting in.
We're going to be on Jibby?
Probably not. I'm going to guess it's Route 66.
Damn it.
There we go. Yeah, watch for Gibraltar. Definitely a rare one to be seen, but Route 66 will come through.
I'm just hoping that it's Wolf and I casting when we get to both say Jibby as excitedly at the same time. That's the dream, but Route 66 is absolutely fine. See whether it's going to be MVP able to hold this one out, because that'll be very exciting.
I mean, this is straight payload. You know, Rhinos, they did win on King's Row, so that does play more to their style, and MVP Space won on 2-point capture, which harkens to King of the Hill, where they seem to have the most prowess, so this theoretically does give the upper hand over to Rhinos Gaming.
It does make sense when their name's MVP Space, too, because they have been able to play with specific space effectively, you know, with static points.
We're good at this one zone.
Whereas the Rhino has been literally that payload that's been moving so fast.
When you put us on a big street, we can't do it. But anything that's like circular, maybe even a little bit rectangular, that's what we can handle. That's the MVP Space motto.
So, no more analogies. Let's get into it and see whether MVP Space can close this one out.
I get it.
Here we are. Route 66, Big Earl's gas station.
Here's going to be the Wings starting off on the assault. MVP Space trying to get this one together. Closer, playing with their hearts one more time.
My God. Woohoo! That's an Orisa.
No, it's Step.
It was for a second. Just playing with my heart again.
Yeah,
He started like walking out of the spawn. I was just like, oh my God, maybe it is.
That's
and
when
then I noticed like A, it's closer. B, he's returning. I'm just like,
Yeah.
all right, never mind.
Like, Closer has played literally 100% of his
Guys,
games.
just a bunch of jerks, you know. Want to get me excited.
But that's precisely what I do as well. I mean, it could be anyone. They could like actually only have one hero available, and I still think that it could be him playing Orisa, even though that's impossible in Overwatch.
Oh well. Well, you see MVP Space going to be playing pretty far forward to see how much further they want to push out.
See if they can
Oxo?
dodge this arrow from Oxo as well.
Well, they're hiding back behind the tunnel, so Oxo should not be able to get the spot out.
And we did actually see this one earlier as well. So yeah, no one is actually going to be spotted. As Oxo jumps back, going to be the McCree. I like it a lot. There's now everyone dashing in. This is a big dive coming down from MVP Space, really making a statement early on.
Shoving them right in, but they're getting picked off. Closer and Yaki have already gone down.
Oxo's positioning was so good. Umte's going to be taken down. Actually, the front line removed here from I'm Sorry. Nicely done, but it's Oxo that takes him down in the end. Still a lot of support here still available, and the pushback.
They get kooky at the end there. That's going to be a massive stagger here onto the Winston, which means that Wings have a pretty good window to go ahead and get this payload shoving forward. They can get around the corner by the gas station.
Now,
That'd be huge.
Achilleos. This Cowboy really wants to take down MVP Space and push this payload forward. You mentioned the fact that this team feels good on this this sort of ever-changing terrain the payload does provide.
Yeah, seems to be the elongated maps where they excel. And the opposite here for MVP Space. Which, unfortunately for them, it's there's no more 2-point capture at King of the Hill for the rest of this series, so they got to step up the game on payload and hybrid. And I already available for Oxo, but he gets taken out. Genji just stabbing him in the back.
The Gabe's going to take down Kuki, though, as the trade does come in, but Envy's with the answer. The Wings really doing work. Umpty takes down I'm Sorry, so a lot of DPS now missing. They jump back on this payload and keep pushing it forward. This was a very easy first point.
Yeah, Hook coming out, not going to find Laris as he jukes back around. The right click will take him out, even with the biotic grenade thrown down. Self-destruct tossed out by Daly will claim the life of Envy. But Wings still having a massive push. 2 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock, and just 3 meters away from that point.
Oh, huge Earth Shatter comes out as Umpte gets them over the line. They will make it to this first point, and there it is.
In from behind, takes them out. They clean up the Diva. They get the first cap, and now they have 4.5 minutes to shove forward onto point B. So really good start here from Wings, and they haven't had to use too much, just the Deadeye and that Earth Shatter off the backside. Mango did use Nano Boost as well, as I see.
Yeah.
So there's a couple things being used, but
lots of
Space
CC
don't
and
have much.
zoning tools also available here from the Wings as well, with that whole hog getting people away from that payload, as well as that self-destruct doing basically the same thing. Sound Barrier comes in. Oh, decent pulse bomb as Kuki's going to take down Umte. A little bit of help from that big ultimate coming out from Yaki, so nice work from MVP Space, showing that there's still life in him.
Yeah, they also pick off Oxa off the back of that one, so a good little delay coming in. As Yaki just going to be trying to stack up that pulse bomb, a second one as quickly as he possibly can.
Now going to make it back onto the point here now that everyone has respawned. Remember, all of those ultimates haven't been used just yet. Oh, there's the hook from the sky. Doesn't get any sort of sleep or CC though, but he's smashed away with that whole hog. And that nano boost actually going to be mitigated almost entirely. Fury's able to take down I'm sorry, as MVP Space lose a lot of their damage, and they use a lot of their tools.
Oh, the sleep dart in midair. Kuki immediately does get woken up, however. So he will be able to leap back into the point, just trying to knock away the Roadhog. Goes
so
low.
Takes out Daily there as well, so big frontline members now removed. And the Wings continue this push forward.
Yeah, Kuki's still one hit from dead. He has to stay put on top of the building until he can get some heals through from Laris. So completely useless right now as the payload continues to get shoved up. There we go, finally gonna get topped off. The Wings still keep gaining ground. It's just under 3 minutes remaining to themselves.
Oh,
Daily. Bombed by Oxo, won't find anything, but yeah, Daily gets knocked out of the mech. Might just go down.
Yeah, Oxo being so frustrating here on this high ground. Mango in trouble, goes down to about half here as there's the Dragon Blade. I'm sorry running through, but it's just not going to be enough. Fury takes him out.
Yeah, just trying to charge in, finish him off. Does land that flame strike in on the Daily, works him low, but he's going to be able to get back into his mech. It seems was able to generate enough percentage to go ahead and net that for himself.
Yeah, Trace is doing work here, but Oxo is going to prove himself the better one as Umte is going to take down closer there as well. Not a lot of support now remaining on the side of MVP Space. Oh, Nano Boost comes out, but immediately Laris is destroyed as well. The Nano Boosted Diva just going to get smashed away here at the same time with that Primal Rage. Gets himself back into his suit now as I'm sorry falls. Kuki's dead as well. And it just seems like these Rhinos are doing so much damage and unable to be stopped.
Yeah, they're just charging forward without opposition, without much opposition, you'd have to say. And this should be the completion right here. Minute 45 on that. It's going to give them 3 and 15 seconds, 13 minutes to push. That'd be
and MVP Space now
absurd.
Have a moment where they can put it back into perspective for themselves. They need to stop it from getting to this end point, which is a static location, Achilleos. This is how they've been doing well.
This is where they excel.
This is where they shine.
The problem is going to be when they're attacking and they have to push down the map.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's just going to be an impossibility. So let's hope they can hold on for as long as they possibly can.
Yep, for now Earth Shatter does come out. Pulse Bomb combined with it takes out Kuki. The Reinhardt already eliminated. Charge coming through. Not quite going to find the pin here onto Yaki, but he still goes low. Oopsie. He does the same, and he'll just get meleeed out by Daly as he pushes through the shield.
Yeah, 2-2 so far, though. Rhinos Gaming Wings do have a little bit longer to run back as there's the Dragon Blade. Fury's going to take down I'm sorry, though, in the meantime. Meanwhile, a lot of damage coming out here on the side of the Wings.
Kuki getting shot in the back. The Pulse Bomb coming through. Will stay alive. The Biotic Grenade with the couple of the healing does keep him alive. Yaki does take down Oxos. The payload not moving much around the corner at the moment. This has been a good chokehold here for MVP Space thus far. They're running out of ultimates that they can utilize to maintain this, whereas Wings are just stacking theirs up further, have that Nano Boost ready to go.
Yeah, Wings not actually trying to pull back or anything like that. Big hook there from Envy as he throws down the whole hog. There's the Nano Boost as well as he's getting everyone away and doing a whole bucket load of damage. But unable to get too many kills. Fury off to the side is going to pick up I'm sorry, who's once again just dying over and over again.
But it's fine because that ultimate was not about the kills. It was about getting MVP Space forced away from the corner so they can get this payload shoved forward. Now you can see so dangerously close to the finish is Wings. MVP Space going to have to play this very carefully. They toss up the self-destruct, do find Umte off the back.
Yaki gets the ultimate actually after that Nano Boost did come through. A lot of work now being done from MVP space, but knows that he doesn't need to use it. And it's going to be so important to have that whole hog. There's the self-destruct. They need to get out of the way. It's going to be the kill onto Closer there from Fury. He jumps back in, I'm sorry, once again targeted by this D.Va.
Still, though, not enough for them to go ahead and get this payload moving. MVP space sticking to this one like glue. They can get this pick onto Kuki, who's rather low. That would open up for a massive Earth Shatter. Otherwise, Umte is going to have to time this perfectly to get around the shield of the enemy Reinhardt.
Yeah, Kuki's going to be the real
comes
problem
through,
here. Yeah,
throws out the flame strike. They take him out. Now everybody's vulnerable. They can just play forward onto this payload as much as he possibly wants. Dragon Blade coming through, but he immediately gets swept by I'm sorry. He goes down a gate, finishing him off at the payload. Getting ready to move freely. There we go, 4 people on it. Just under 5 meters away. The charge coming through from Kuki does take out a gate, but he dies immediately, and that should be the completion. There it is, Wings with just 23 seconds remaining, complete the push on Route 66.
And I feel like we've finally seen the Rhinos that we were expecting moving into this series. Of course, it took them to be down against a set point MVP space, but that was one hell of a push from the Rhinos Gaming Wings. And look, it's going to take a lot from MVP space to make their way back in, but remember, they're going to be so hungry. If they can get that full push and then win afterwards with a decent amount of time there in the bank, that will be sending them to Apex Season 3.
Yeah, this is do or die time. Want to maintain that match point, don't want to have it come down to a 5th map, a best of 1 essentially. So they need to change up their play style and do this as perfectly as they possibly can. 23 seconds the time to beat, but even just a completion, I'm sure would be very welcome from MVP after their performance on King's Row.
Yeah, we'll see where the Wings mix it up with this start here as well. It's often that defensive position up there towards the high ground is the option to go with. Probably not. It's been pretty standard.
See how Wings want to play this one out. We saw MVP playing up on the high ground, as you said. Opted in for that really deep charge, which
MVP
punished them
space.
really heavily, but looks like it's just going to be on top of Big Earls here for Wings.
Daly's playing with my heart right now. Well, we know that he's going to play D.Va.
Yep. Not going to see a Torbjorn.
Yeah. Sad.
I mean, I'd love it.
Yeah, so would I.
But
Whoa!
not going to happen. Oxa's just daydreaming.
Attack on a payload, not a great opportunity for Torbjorn to get work done unless he can like somehow protect a turret on top of a cart for a very long time. Used to work.
It's a very solo queue strategy.
Back in the day.
Here we go, Daly. Got to see if he can spot something out. So
Gone
they're
for a
not in the
different
train
option.
car, so just go ahead and start pushing forward around the corner. They'll find everybody waiting for them on top of the gas station.
Bit of a delayed attack here from Rhinos Gaming Wings, deciding to opt for a different strategy.
Well, MVP space as well, changing things up closer, coming through onto the Zenyatta. Gonna be looking for that full dive composition.
Yeah, I don't mind this actually coming out from closer.
I mean, this all comes down to the target selection from MVP space as a whole. They need to jump onto these Discord or targets just like that. Taking down Oxo immediately, so a very good start coming in here for spaces to get rid of the enemy Tracer.
It's a massive amount of DPS missing now with Oxo gone, and that shield is almost taken out here as well from Umte, who gets dashed through.
He's almost got a Dragon Blade, 66% here. He's generating so much, freely dashing through multiple members, racking up the percentage. He's going to have this very shortly. Has to heal back because of the Biotic Grenade, denying the heals. Goes low, one more swing would take him out, but there we go, getting popped back up here.
Yeah, Dragon Blade comes out. He's able to take down a Gape almost immediately. Smacked out of the sky, though, as I'm sorry. Here's an I'm sorry from Umte there. A lot of damage being thrown back, but it's a good push so far for MVP space regardless.
Yeah, 245, getting it right up in front of point A. Going to be a very nice start here for MVP. The dive comp seemingly working out fairly well, but this is bad news bears for Laris. Very heavy delay on the respawn there for the Ana, so just going to burn a little bit more time off the clock there for MVP. So good stagger coming in with Wings, and now they have 3 ultimates to deal with, almost 4, actually almost 5.
Yeah.
I see a Gape's meter at the moment, 93% there on that sound barrier, so they have a lot of tools to try to maintain this hold. Kuki's dashing in, has that Primal Rage ready to go.
Yeah, barrier destroyed immediately there as well. It's closer.
That forced Primal Rage, Pulse Bomb would have killed him.
Exactly. So just going to smack him around, so he's going to be fine, but it's just going to be destroyed out of the sky. Fury actually locking him down with the self-destruct pin onto Yaki as well. That one's difficult as the Wings once again wiping MVP space off this map. Wanting to stagger some of these respawns, are going to do so quite nicely as well. With all 6 alive, still doing so much work. I'm sorry, trying to keep himself up. But he's not going to be able to fight that D.Va.
Yeah, he falls. Really good deflection, though, on that Flame Strike. Actually almost killed Imte. But just can't quite get it. MVP, they do get halted. Still 2 ultis available for Wings. Just go ahead and nano boost the Reinhardt. And MVP, they have significantly fewer tools to work with. Just that Dragon Blade up in the moment.
Yeah, looking to get some charge here, throwing these bullets into these Reinhardt shields. Both teams with a relatively equal high ground, but not really what you're looking for here is that payload still moving forward. Rhinos Gaming Wings have to move down, try and stop that one from getting there. Remember, we're not even at the first point just yet, and there's only 55 seconds remaining. I'm sorry, no deflect now available as there's the hook onto the D.Va. Mech's gonna go down as Yaki grabs himself that kill. This could be a big deal as Umte does have the Earth Shatter. This could be so important. Throws it down right now, but I'm not sure it really got enough. Oh my god! I'm sorry, this is exactly what we wanted from the guy replacing Climax. And I mean, he was not necessarily having the best day, but that was stunning.
I mean, started off really strong when we saw him on Oasis with his Genji.
Yeah, it's been super up and down. It's like a heart monitor.
Yeah, it started slipping out, but now coming back into form, so that does complete the first push here, but not a lot of time left on the clock there for MVP Space when they completed it. So just under 3 minutes now for them to go all the way over to point B. They're gonna have to play this out really well, poking in as best as they can from this left flank of the buildings. They find that sleep on the Oxo, but the hook will get blocked out here by Fury. He'll just go low, loses a little bit of HP off that mech, but really, that's just gonna be extra charge going over to Mango on that.
Yeah, and ground actually gained here by Rhinos Gaming Wings as well.
Yeah, pushing in, whole hog, plus the nano boost coming in. They're gonna shatter the Reinhardt shield, just trying to shove them off the payload as best as they can, and now gonna be answered here.
Yeah, nano hammer. Not actually going to find too much there from Kuki. His shield is going down relatively low. Big pin onto Yaki, but not really too much of a problem.
Self-destruct comes in from above, won't find much. And they're going to keep this moving. Earth Shatter still available, hasn't tossed it yet.
Out without actually being hit onto anyone just there. Kuki's just trying to get into that position for the Earth Shatter.
MT just trying to go ahead and build his up, constantly tossing out these flame strikes, trying to build as much as he possibly can at 83% at the moment. Kuki wrapping around from the side, looking for the flank.
Oh, there it is!
Locks him down, goes in with a charge to pin, taking out Envy, and MVP Space just will sweep through Wings, take out Fury. The team kill completed. They make it to point B, and now they have 3 minutes to work with to go all the way to the finish.
That was a Kaiser level Earth Shatter off to the side, everyone down, and then the pin all the way through. Just beautiful. It's MVP Space now, look, doesn't even really matter. They got to that second point so quickly. This time is not going to be a problem. Remember, Rhinos, they've only got 23 seconds. This is not an issue here for MVP Space. Deadeye flying through, Oxo trying to get at least someone here with this, but no one available.
Had a slight window of opportunity, but the shield comes up from the Reinhardt yet again. Flashbang, not going to connect. Chasing in, trying to find Laris. One more hit would do it. But a Nano Blade Genji comes in from behind, takes him out, takes out the D.Va as well.
You are not sorry, good sir. You are winning this game right now.
That's almost 2 wipes in a row for MVP Space. 2 minutes on the clock, shoving in these final stretch on
And this Genji has been so clutch in exactly the moments that they needed him. I mean, Kuki has been stepping up as well, but I'm sorry, he's really having the map of his life right now. Yaki over here as well, does get his hook blocked as he throws down the whole hog just to get rid of the Rhinos Gaming Wings. There's, oh god, Daly actually picks up a gate. This could be a big moment right now. Sound barrier had already been used, and there's the follow-up, but no one going to fall from the second explosion.
They finds Kuki, but it's still just 4.2 meters left to go.
Earth Shatter from Umti, but that is not the same level that we were expecting.
Yeah, not going to find too much here. They will push off MVP Space for the moment as they get these picks, but still a minute left to go.
The staggered deaths actually could be a big deal here on the side of MVP Space. Once again, that payload getting pushed back. Yeah, exactly right. 1 minute to go. There are still opportunities for MVP Space to get themselves on the board. and push this one over, save themselves, get to that 3-1 victory that they're looking for to get themselves into Apex Season 3.
So gets found, immediately has to recall, dashing back out, so won't be able to drop it from above with that pulse bomb like he was looking to do. Comes in, now throws it down, won't find anybody, kills himself!
No!
Meanwhile, Nano Blade coming through, drawing it out off the backside of the hook, finds Mango, NB goes down, Wings getting swept through yet again, Agape barely staying alive, getting hounded down, and the payload is pushing in. Yet again, this looks like this is going to be the completion. Oxo trying to buy as much time as he possibly can, but he gets taken out. 20 seconds left.
Mango gets himself in there on the Sombra switch just to get that extra mobility, but no, he's going to fall. Envy's going to go down as well, and there it is with 11. No! Is it going to be, is overtime push? No, it's not. That's the victory, and my God, this is going to be close. This final round, MVP Space somehow make it.
The kill onto the Winston right at the end, a game of literal inches, and MVP Space finally get the push in. A little bit less time in the bank compared to Rhino Gaming Wings, but this is still so very close, and MVP played that much better than we ever anticipated.
Yeah, and after what was a brilliant hold at the beginning there from Rhino's Gaming Wings, they looked like they really had it under control after what was a fantastic assault round. But nope. Not going to be the case as MVP move us into this deciding matchup.
I mean, it's a minute on the clock for MVP, minute 15 here.
There's nothing in it, really. Let's be honest. We'll see whether that's going to make the difference between ultimates or not, something like that. Probably not going to be the case. Now Rhinos Gaming Wings just setting themselves up for the defense this first time. Oof. It's getting dangerous. No change-ups here to really take note of as far as compositions. Just happy to do what they can.
Yeah.
We'll see whether the approach vector is going to change here at the same time.
Well, Space is up. They're not going for the full dive. They don't have the Tracer coming in, so they are going to be running Yaki over on this Roadhog, try to get some pick potential as they push forward. There's no Zenyatta either. So I'm sorry, he's going to have another star-studded performance on this Genji for MVP to have success. Just a minute on the clock, trying to push this payload as far as they possibly can. Yaki already pushing in, will get hooked forward, but clipped into the wall. So not as much damage coming through from Envy as he would have liked.
Yeah, Fire Grenade is going to keep that Roadhog alive there as well as I'm sorry, just trying to build this one up. He built it so quickly earlier on. We'll see whether this is going to be another example of that, as pushed away by the Tracer, as now Mango in trouble, gets dashed on, throws down the grenade to keep himself up, as now I'm sorry, right in this backline, just causing so much disruption. Oh, Umpty's gonna fall. I'm sorry, grabs that kill as Yaki goes in for the double. This is massive on the side of MVP Space, and they're getting the push that they really wanted.
Honestly, this could lead to an actual cap here for MVP Space. They might be able to ride this out even further than we ever anticipated. Wings completely peeling back, gonna get ready for the defense after the gates have opened, and MVP Space, such an opening the charge, being led by I'm Sorry, who is still just getting closer and closer to a Nano Blade. We'll see just how far they can take this, but no one can leave the payload.
Yeah, they made it to the point, but we are in permanent overtime now if MVP Space are going to get it any further. This is the dream round that, honestly, I wasn't expecting them to make it all the way to that first checkpoint.
I don't think anybody was, including MVP Space. Probably a bit of a shock for themselves. Payload not moving too far. Wings actually playing into the cubby, but that's going to be the Nano Boost coming forward in on I'm Sorry.
Oh, the Dragon Blade is going to come up now. He can use it. He is going to pop it straight away. Agape's going to be the only one to fall thus far, though, and he's actually going to move out. So not as much as they wanted. Actually, the Wings getting a whole bunch more as they jump onto that payload.
But massive Earthshatter fires free,
man.
Swinging his way to success. This might just be the shove-off, and it will be. So the first cap coming through. The payload doesn't move much further than that, but still such a crucial performance from Space, because now Wings has to get the cap on point A if they want to keep their hopes alive of making it into Season 3 right here.
And that extra delay is actually so important from that first point cap. So MVP got to be happy with that performance. An extra 15 seconds now in the hands of Rhinos Gaming Wings, but look, honestly, that does not mean much. This team, that was more than we could possibly expect, and now can they close it out and book themselves a spot in Season 3 Apex?
Let's see how MVP is going to play this one. They played very far forward, aggressing in towards the cafe or the diner right off the bat. I don't think they can afford to do so this time around. Likely going to be playing back on top of gas station to keep themselves safe, because one wipe will almost certainly lead to Wings matching them.
I like it how MVP Space managed to park the payload in what almost looked like a parking space there as well.
Just right in the little, tunnel. Just leave it there.
Handy.
There's no traffic coming through.
There's a lot of pretty fitting things happening this time around.
Yeah, I really misunderstood Route 66, I guess, because to my knowledge, it ends at Santa Monica Pier, but apparently it just goes into a garage and then it just stops.
Yeah, this is back in the day, you know, like ocean levels, things like that have changed.
This is this is the future.
Oh yeah, still ocean levels have changed.
All right, well, Fury taking his little time there, swapping off the Hanzo. Couldn't get anything off with the Scout. And now Envy pushing for dive comp coming through from Wings. No Zenyatta to match. Still just going to be a gape over on that Lucio.
Still able to charge that ult quite nicely, at least to start things off. 18% not too bad for a couple of seconds into the game.
Already, here we go. Rounding the first corner, getting down below the gas station. This is where things can get hairy.
Space know that they don't need to stop them for all that long now. As oh my goodness, Fury just getting torn up. Envy in trouble as well now.
Already losing the suit. That's going to be pretty crucial. I'm sorry, goes low, but getting popped back up by Alaris. Very reliably. Hook coming in.
Big
Envy
hook
goes down, but they lose closer in the exchange. So trading up is Wings, getting rid of the healers, but I'm sorry. He's getting vengeance there, taking out Umti.
Remember, this is 20 seconds, right? MVP Space are on the payload. They're pushing this one back. It's 10 seconds, and I don't know whether the Rhinos Gaming Wings are going to make it back here in time.
It really
They're definitely going to have
likely.
to push this all the way up in overtime if they're going to, and it's going to be so, so hard.
They have a couple ultimates to deal with. Oxo going to have to show up huge with the pulse bomb. Tosses one out, but that's going to be the Animals coming in. Keeps him alive. So far, so good for MVP Space on the hold. But as I say, that Laris goes down. I'm sorry, his fallen Wings have to stick to the payload like glue if they want any hope of keeping their S3, their Season 3 hopes alive.
Oh, the Wings actually do manage to at least pick up a couple of kills here. But everyone being quite frustrating here on this payload, and now going to start pushing through. Big Boop comes out of a gate to get closer off the edge, but it's not over yet. Remember, they need to get to that checkpoint, and they need to push it through that front door.
But Wings basically got the sweep. That's going to be massive for them. There's another pulse bomb here
for they've got
Oxo.
So many more ultimates there as well.
They can ride this one out. Honestly, they might just be able to do it. There we go. The first checkpoint has been reached. Now, just need to go a matter of meters.
Is going to be so important.
If
he can make that one work, or at least get them off this payload. Remember, they need to be sitting on this card.
Yeah, they need to push forward here. Kuki already playing up into the space, making sure the payload cannot connect. Jumping forward. The pulse bomb comes out. Closer goes down. Oxo opening things up.
Oh, that's self-destruct from Fury!
A massive kill comes through the double, and that will be the completion. Against all odds, Wings able to tie it up. They're going to take us to map 5.
And game 5 now has to be played out by an MVP Space that were pushed entirely to the wire in that second assault round. Rhinos Gaming Wings will have so much momentum, given the fact that this was so difficult for them. Oh my goodness.
What a turnaround. I mean, they got forced into the overtime before they even rounded the corner past the gas station.
And look at Envy.
He's got to be exhausted right now.
Absolutely.
This is one hell of a test of endurance, and honestly, it could get even worse because whichever team loses this next map has to play another best of 5 today.
Oh, yes. So. And then another best of 5 the next day as well.
And they're not even sure who their opponents are either, so limited.
Yeah, this is right. It's going to be either a Freaks Red, MVP Infinity, or Flashlights, but we don't know. Don't know.
MVP so close to just clinching it out, to finishing it with the 3-1.
And honestly, at this point, I don't mind which of these teams get through either, because MVP Space have shown so much improvement from the last couple of days. This team is exciting to watch.
They really are, and after this much improvement, it really would be a damn shame to see them like locked into Challenger yet again, especially if it's alongside their sister team. But MVP, they need to step up. We're moving into the final map. What's it going to be, Numbani or Eichenwald?
I'm hoping for Eichenwald, and it is!
All right.
Oh, man.
They're going to go.
It comes down to this, Achilles.
They're going to go to the craziest map that we have in the arsenal. Eichenwald to finish out this neck-and-neck best of 5 between Rhinos Gaming Wings and MVP Space. Everything on the line.
And I have a feeling this is going to be heavily one way or the other, because it's about who can make the first proactive move and then sit behind it, because when you get down to the game 5, it's the mental aspect of this game after it's gone for so long against both of these teams that can really wear you down. And remember, I mean, Space hasn't been in Apex since Season 1. I mean, these teams aren't necessarily as practiced, but we'll see who can do it. So we hop in for game number 5.
I get it.
All right, here we go. Welcome to lovely rundown Eichenwald.
Yeah. I mean, they could have done a few renovations before they
Yeah,
came to a map, couldn't they?
they didn't do much after the Omnic crisis.
Yeah.
Just kind of
It's a
let
bit
it sit.
disappointing, honestly, and it's been like this for so long.
You know, we just like the rustic aesthetic.
Like, couldn't we just call off, like, one of these matches and just, like, start putting some bricks back? Like, it's not that hard. Everyone's got arms. Like,
I mean, I know we already had a PvP or PvE mode on Eichenwald with the Halloween one, but maybe we can get one back in time where it's just Bastions versus Reinhardt's, basically.
I thought you were just going to say you just
And
go back in and start rebuilding.
I just mean, like, you know, we get a blast in the past where, you know, like London's not destroyed
Yeah, that's
completely in the new one. We'll see Eichenwald with an actual functioning castle, little town area.
Pretty sweet.
Be great.
I like it. We'll put it forward.
Be lovely. There's some like villagers like chilling in the windows, like watching everyone murder each other.
Well, that's what they did like to do back in the day, but of course, you know, this being the future could be a problem. Anyway, see what MVP Space can do attacking first round here in Eichenwald.
Not going to be running anything too crazy. Thought maybe we would see Pharmacy Comp coming out here for the point A, but still just going to be that pseudo dive. Just not being completed by the Zenyatta. The only piece of the puzzle missing out here.
Ooh,
I'm sorry. In 3D is the hook.
He just needs an
Barely
extra
misses.
couple of chains on that one, and he would have been A-okay, as Oxo just getting caught in this side. Nice work from MVP Space to get themselves in there, but there's the hook.
Not the one that he wanted, but still does find a target.
Taylor gets himself out and healed up now as well, so MVP Space owning this one as Umte is going to be the first one to fall. Closer actually grabs it with the upgraded cannon.
They already have almost capped this. If nothing else, they do have the second checkpoint ready to go. Couple respawns coming in here for Wings.
Yaki throws down the pulse bomb immediately.
It's devoured by the D.Va, however, so Fury just nomming that one away.
Yep.
Not going to let that one come through. Oxo will fall, but they lose Daly in the Mac.
There's the whole hog as well as Envy. Turning this one around.
Look, not quite going to connect there, so can't finish off Laris. Yaki getting that nano boost coming through, but doesn't have a pulse bomb to try to dash in and blow them up. So a decent first push here from MVP Space, unable to complete it, but still got the 2 checkpoints.
Yeah. Dangerous times there for Rhinos Gaming Wings, because having that extra buffer to try and move that card up the hill is so important. Plus, this first point can be so hard. We've seen many a full hold. Rhinos Gaming Wings still with an opportunity to do that if they can hold off this last tick.
I mean, they have so many ultimates to work with right now. Fury getting ready to have that self-destruct for, just fantastic zone control. Maybe the lucky pick coming in. So 4 ultimates at their disposal, and they should be able to go ahead.
Whoa, Laris
get
going to fall down. Oxo just grabs that kill off to the side. Rhinos Gaming Wings yet again with another delay.
Yeah, really good chasing. Just getting rid of that Ana. Preventing him from just poking out, healing up his teammates, and building up yet another nano boost. Yaki, though, he's on a bombing mission as he sneaks around the backside, sitting on the high ground. Maybe he can find Mango himself, spots him out. Wants to go for the kill,
Oh,
finds
there it is. Oh, no!
It misses, just goes right past him onto the ground and won't come up with it.
Didn't put enough glue onto that pulse bomb at all, as there's a self-destruct. Good position as sound barrier comes down. Rhinos Gaming Wings want to hold onto this as best they possibly can, but they can't do it. MVP Space tears through 2 so far. Earthshatter comes down, but it's not going to do anything.
Yeah,
the pin's missed at the same time as it's just Umte trying to get himself out of there.
They're getting picked off one at a time. It's not the big sweep that MVP wants to really be able to get onto the point. They will go ahead and start this one up. There we go. I'm sorry. Dashing through, coming up with multiple kills as they take out the D.Va. That should be enough to get the completion. Envy desperately trying to just stick on the point.
Remember,
They do get it, but
Yeah.
A lot of time burned out by Wings, so honestly not the worst first hold that we've seen.
Down to a minute, and a massive high ground advantage opportunity here. Rhinos Gaming Wings as they try and move this one up the hill.
Yaki yet again, trying to go for an assassination attempt.
He's getting himself real deep in. Oxo and Yaki on opposite sides.
Looking for it, will get spotted out though in the end. Jumps off the high ground. Will retreat back to his team. He's getting ready to move that payload up through the archway.
Yeah, he's going to try the opposite angle here. Pokes his head round, wants to cause as much disruption as possible, as I believe. Yeah, it was. Nano came out, unable to actually find anything at all.
Yeah, now there was a pulse bomb there from Yaki. Doesn't get much. They take down Mango in the end. And now all of Wings are down on the low ground, and they're just getting picked off here by MVP Space. They do trade back a couple in their favor. See that whole hog coming out, but
it was so weird.
Yeah, and he goes down in the end. Can't heal up during that whole hog. Self-destruct, a little needlessly tossed out by Daly.
Just a bit of a panic. Because honestly, MVP Space had a golden opportunity there and do capitalize on it. Rhinos Gaming Wings can at least come back round here as this cart is moving up this hill. I'm sorry being frustrating, but look at this. So much more control now to be held as that cart moves up.
He's dead, however. So they will go ahead and just peel back. Sorry, going low. Just going to wait to get healed up here.
Ooh, Closer actually going to move Oxo. Picks himself up that kill.
Quite see exactly how that one transpired, but getting the kill onto him is going to be very nice. Had a pulse bomb ready to go. He'll get the respawn in time to help defend this push. But yeah, Yaki looking for it.
Oh, there it is. Has he got the sticky? No, I don't think so.
This is out yet again.
Fury gets a kill with the self-destruct though.
He got two technically, or close to two, as he popped Daly's mech on top of it. So really nicely done with that self-destruct. And I'm sorry, he goes flying off the map.
Just dashes off the edge. He's frustrated. What's going on here is MVP Space looking to respawn and try and start this one up again. But finally, Rhinos Gaming Wings get some control over this payload. Now setting themselves up, waiting for where MVP Space are going to create their approach from. But the more they move this down the hill, the better the position for the defensive team is.
This is really rough here for MVP. Getting the payload all the way to B. Halfway there at the moment with just a minute left to go. It's not impossible. They could get it.
I'm not going to find it.
Yeah, Oxo just not able to make these stick. Won't come up with it. Gets taken down by Yaki in the end. Now pushing forward up onto the high ground. Looking for a kill in onto the Roadhog. Nice deny on the heels as MVP goes down. And this does give a bit of space opened up for them. MVP taking down a gate. This buys them crucial time to go ahead and move the payload across the bridge. Still a ways to go.
Really wants to get back into Apex here.
Finds damage.
Yeah, easy able to take him down through whatever shields can be thrown out, to be perfectly honest. I'm sorry, still charging. I get towards that Dragon Blade is going to be 20% as there's the Nano actually onto Envy, gets slapped out of it.
Yeah, he's just going to be stuck on the ground as the payload keeps pushing. The boop comes
15
through
seconds.
as Closer takes him off the map. And now all MVP need to do is clean this up. They still have a couple ultimates at their disposal to try to complete this push. Umte sitting firm on top of the payload, has that Earth Shatter ready to go. And honestly, this one might just expire. Yaki dashing in, trying to buy enough time. The self-destruct from Daly coming through.
What was that
Earth Shatter, but it's not going to find much. But they're still trading back. Oxo with a beautiful pulse bomb, finding two off screen. Going to buy them such crucial time as the overtime goes ahead and ticks down, and it's going to stop right here in front of point B.
They were so close to capping that point B and getting themselves towards the end, but MVP Space unable to make it up that hill, and this is set exactly where Rhinos need to get if they want to find their way into Apex.
MVP not having success on the push. Now going to be looking for the defense. A full hold would be their best friend right now. But with how Rhino has been playing these payload, these hybrid maps, it seems very unlikely that they'll be able to achieve it. But
MVP just need to think about this as a capture point map.
Yep.
Just think about it as a capture. First point, that's all we need to worry about. Get your Torbjorns out. Set up your Reinhardt.
Please, no. What a way to get knocked into the lower bracket.
That would be the way.
Let's just run Symmetra Torbjorn. Screw it.
Bastion for good measure. Beautiful.
There you go. No healers.
No.
Those are crush.
Why do you need a healer?
You don't need it.
They don't do. Oh, you can have a Lucio. He does a bit more damage now, I guess.
I mean, you got shields coming in. You got from the Symmetra. You got armor from the Torbjorn. Bastion heals himself. So, you know.
Pseudo sustain, still
That
sustain.
and the
Am I right?
Lucio, they're really just overrated.
Yeah. I like that we see eye to eye on this one. Kilios.
Space though, they don't see it. They're not connecting the dots for the ultimate comp. So they're going to be going with this single DPS triple tank coming through for them as Daly goes in for the Zarya. And Yaki back in on the Roadhog. So a lot riding on I'm Sorry. Again, he's had some really up and down performances throughout the day.
He's either saying I'm sorry to his team or I'm sorry to the enemy team.
That's
it doesn't. It's never anywhere in between, which does make a lot of sense.
Alrighty, well, here we go. Attack getting ready to come through. Wings looking like they're just going to be opting in for the single DPS as well, as Oxo is sticking with Tracer and Envy back over onto the road. So going to be pretty similar compositions coming through, but MVP have the potential of that Graviton Surge at their disposal. Already playing up on the high ground. It's going to give access to Wings down onto the point as they start picking this one up, getting close to that first tick.
Yeah, good bio grenade actually to try and soften them up here as Oxo poking in, like I said, from the side.
He gets hit by that right click, has to peel back as the heals come through. Shield from Kuki, about to get
big
down.
hook!
Yeah, hook comes through straight into the sleep, but Yaki actually does not go down. He stays alive. The burst healing from Laris keeping him up.
Yeah,
but they find
knockback.
Kuki in the exchange.
That is massive. Oxo's going to fall down off to the side as well. Rhinos Gaming Wings are pushing this one forward as best they can, but they lose two now. Closer takes down a Gabe, and I'm sorry, tears apart Mango. There's no support left. And MVP Space will be able to hold on for the moment.
It'll be a really good start to things here. The hook comes
Oh,
through,
there it is.
drags him to the side. They just want to keep him alive, delay this as long as possible. He'll be able to jump off the map. No way to stop him from getting to the ledge.
Fantastic delay.
Yeah, not as good as they would have liked. They would have liked to have held him for about 10 seconds and then got rid of him. But still really good on Yaki there, landing that hook. Now Wing's going to be pushing back in. The ultimate's building up from both sides. So far, Laris does have that Nano Boost ready to go, and I'm sorry, gets the Dragon Blade.
Yeah, the Nano Blade. Going to be an opportunity here as Oxo poking in from the side. Now has that Pulse Bomb. Let's see whether he gets in there. There it is. Nano Blade coming out as I'm sorry, already with two. Make that three as Yaki grabs Umte as well.
Yeah, and Oxo, he's just going to get out of dodge. Wants to hold on to that ultimate. The hook barely misses him. So he will make it out with his life, and the sleep dart won't connect either. Everybody just chasing him to the ends of the earth, trying to get rid of that Tracer. A good hold coming through yet again here for MVP Space as 2 minutes is left on the clock, but they did have to commit two ultimates.
Yeah, probably not going to be too upset. I mean, that Nano Blade, very, very important. So this next push going to be a little bit easier, and they've got 3 ultimates to do it with as well.
They got rid of 2, and they got the Earth Shatter out of them too, but that's about it. Otherwise, it's going to be 5 for Wings.
Soon. Yeah. This could be huge. Whole Hog is going to be there for Yaki.
But Oxo is already dead.
Wow, this is huge.
Graviton Surge could come down. Daly still holding on to it. Being pushed forward higher and higher with his energy.
Yeah, big charge.
Start to go ahead and deplete now. Tosses up the shield. Soak up as much as he can.
I like this as well. Not wanting to push too far forward. They know that they hold on to this. They've just got to try and keep that economy in check. Keep as many options open as possible. Now Ante gets himself here. They've only ticked it once here on this first point. MVP Space, remember, if they hold on to this one, this is going to be sending them to Apex. This is such a big deal.
Bailey's already
There's
dead.
the gravity surge there as well as, oh my goodness, picking up one there is Fury with the self-destruct. Oxo switching to the McCree, grabs I'm sorry there as well. Just shoots him right in the face.
Yeah, gets a nice flashbang down so they can follow up on to Closer. That's basically going to be the wipe coming through as Yaki jumps off the side of the map. So we'll concede this. Just 48 seconds left on the clock. 3 minutes here for Wings. They have to basically push it all the way to that second point.
Yeah, and this could be quite difficult. I mean, we saw MVP Space struggling to get it up that hill. Now they know exactly what they need to do to stop this one from working out. Standing up on the high ground. No changes to be made compositionally at all.
Just going to be keeping this one the same. Sorry, close to yet another Dragon Blade. Trying to avoid getting hooked in. Doesn't want to get popped immediately.
Oh, Yaki going to take down Envy in the Roadhog v Roadhog battle.
Yeah, and this allows for MVP to go ahead and push forward on top of the payload. So just buying them some crucial time.
Yeah, minutes ticking down, 2.5. on the clock right now as Daly gets himself down here. They need to stop this as best they can. Oxo being frustrating, but throwing a lot of those bullets into the shield. Sorry, needs to be quite careful. He's in amongst so many people here. Dashes his way up, but goes very, very low. Daly as well, he's in a bunch of trouble. There's the Dragon Blade.
Yeah, sound barrier
the
down on
sleep
top.
was off in the back end as well. Nicely played here as I'm Sorry gets them right off this payload.
Yeah, it just kind of shoves them back. Doesn't really come up with too many kills here for MVP. They won't be delaying any respawns here from Wings, but still does force them off the payload, buys some more time. 2 minutes now left here for Wings.
Daly.
Multiple ultimates still for them to work with. Daly trying to get back into the mech. 30 more percent if you just land a couple of these hits with the pistol, be able to get it.
Yeah, Fire Strike didn't find the Baby Diva, which would have done a heck of a lot of damage. There's the Pulse Bomb, that'll do it.
I don't know how I feel about that one, honestly, committing the Pulse Bomb in on the Diva. He should be able to generate another one rather quickly, but still, that's a big investment for
Sign
not
of
that much
desperation,
payoff.
most definitely, because the Wings need to push this through, and they need to do it in any way possible, and they're doing so quite nicely. Mango takes down Closer, and Oxo gets rid of Laris. The support members are dead.
Well, you know, actually, I changed my mind. Getting rid of Daly, forcing him to not be able to get back into the mech means that you can't have the Diva just flying around the payload, buying more time for MVP. So, actually, you know, a pretty decent investment there from Oxo, now that I think about it, even
This
further,
is
and it's
rounding
working
the
out
corner.
very well.
Yeah, absolutely. 1 minute on the clock. They don't have very far to go at all. Umte still healthy. That shield is going to go down relatively quickly. The Earth Shatter, multiple man. Oh my god, the pin into the double wall as well. Fury gets the kill with the ultimate at the same time as Envy's tearing him up.
Multiple coming in, Fury getting that heal deny, but he's still very healthy. And the payload just keeps on moving. MVP space gonna have to pile in here. The Dragon Blade coming through from I'm Sorry, trying to buy some time. Won't be able to get the kills by the look of it, but still does zone them back as it's 25 seconds on the clock. All of MVP now alive, 2 ultimates in their favor. Almost have that sound barrier available, but Closer, he needs to stack that up rather quickly.
One last opportunity here for Rhinos Gaming Wings to get themselves through. They've only got the sound barrier at the moment. Envy only on 6%. We're not going to see another whole hog from him. Good sleep off to the side.
Really big sleep, and they pick off Envy. That's going to be really crucial here for Space to just maintain control as they go ahead and enter into overtime. The sound barrier comes down, will be answered by one. That's going to be the self-destruct, getting tossed out, doesn't find anything.
Dead, a gate down as well.
MVP, they might actually be doing it. Fury is able to finish off Kuki. Yaki going low, gets poofed on the side.
Oh, overtime
find the
takes.
hook.
Oh god, that was so
coming
close.
down, not going to find any picks. Won't even knock them out of the mech. Daly's still just sticking to this one like glue, getting popped up here by Laris to the best of his ability. Respawns coming in, everybody soaring back towards the payload, but that's going to be it.
My god.
MVP, they have the upper hand. They close it out. No one from Rhinos Gaming Wings able to get there in time to keep it contested. And MVP Space will make their way back into Apex for Season 3 for the first time since Season 1.
And against all odds as well, it's a successful leapfrog if Infinity aren't able to make their way back through the losers bracket. But MVP Space turning things completely around from the first couple of days. Rhinos Gaming Wings must be gobsmacked with this performance coming out of this team, especially when we thought it was all going to be even worse with Climax now out of the roster. My god, I'm sorry. So much work to be done by this guy. A lot of promise, and if he fixes up his low points that we did see, whew, looking brilliant.
It's all about the consistency there for I'm Sorry for sure. But now people know that they have 2 good DPS that they can swap in and out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good showing here for MVP Space as they get ready to go back into Season 3. But Rhinos Gaming Wings, the road is not over for them yet. They still have a ways to go. You can see some MVP fans out here in the audience showing up on a Thursday to just offer their support to their favorite org.